Hello. What's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up, Autism, Arian, Tuka Buddy, Major Killjoy, Labrador, Tundra Space? How is everyone doing today? Hopefully, y'all are having an amazing day, and today's gonna be a good one. I am super excited, because today, we're gonna start off by playing some standard. I want to check out Sultai. We haven't really played much Sultai yet. We've played a lot of the other wedges. Haven't really done much Sultai. So we're going to check out some Sultai dragons to start with. And then, in 2 hours, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, the day has come where we're going to find out what in the world Wizards is doing with Commander. This is the day that they're doing the stream, they're announcing unbannings, they're talking about the bracket system, and I am super curious what you all are expecting. The Reeker XX, first time sub, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. And the Great Destroyer, welcome you as well. Thank you. It is going to be super interesting. People keep asking my prediction, and normally I'm pretty confident putting predictions out there. On this one, I am not confident at all. I think it is very likely that, like, Coalition Victory, maybe Biorhythm get unbanned. I think those are the easy ones, but I think the range of outcomes on this is I could see Wizards unban like 2 cards and talk about tweaking the bracket system a little bit or the game changer list a little bit. I think that's a possibility. I also think it's possible that they literally unban like 20 plus cards. I think it is possible that pretty much every legend, outside of maybe Golos, comes off the ban list because we have the game changer list now, right? Make them bracket 4 commanders, so you don't gotta worry about raids at the lower brackets being played in the higher brackets. So I think like almost all the legends could come off. I think they could unban the cards they banned last year, the Docksides and Jewel Lotuses and Mana Crypts. Not Nadu. Nadu's never coming back. They mentioned Primeval Titan, Panoptic Mirror. There's so much. Sway of the Stars is basically just another World Fire. They already unbanned that. So I don't know what to expect. No, they are not unbanning Paradox Engine. That is the one out of this entire list, Paradox Engine, as much as I love playing with the card, it is the card I want them to unban least. That's the one I want the least. I will deal with Emrakul annihilating me before I deal with, oh my god, those Paradox Engine turds. Ultimate Raccoon, Shimikar, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup, Jeffrey, thank you. The other cards that I think are very unlikely to come off, that I think you can't take off the ban list, the wait, bracket update's up? Oh, wait, it's up? They posted it? I thought they, okay, well, I mean, live reaction. I thought they were doing this all during the stream. Well, here we go. Gavin posted an article. What do we see? Commander banned in a restricted announcement April 22nd. Commander, gifts ungiven, unbanned. Sway of the Stars, unbanned. Braid's Cabal Minion, unbanned. Coalition Victory, unbanned. And Panoptic Mirror, unbanned. Okay. So 5 cards, which honestly, we gotta actually read a little bit of this. I'm curious if this is it, if they're gonna do more. But here's the 5 cards. So Gifts Ungiven, off the ban list. Gifts was one that, if you listen to our podcast that just went live now-ish, was on our list of cards we thought they should unban. It's kind of a silly one. I will put the link in the chat if you want to read it. So here's the link. So Gifts Ungiven off the ban list. That one makes sense. Sway of the Stars was another one that we felt because of World Fire, right? It's literally a blue World Fire, very, very close to a blue World Fire, where yes, it resets the entire game for 10 mana, but it also lowers life totals down to 7, kind of like World Fire, not quite as low as World Fire. So that one coming off the ban list after they unbanned World Fire made a lot of sense. Panoptic Mirror. I figure they could unban Panoptic Mirror because of the bracket system. With the bracket system, they already banned looping extra turn spells, and the only thing that really makes Panoptic Mirror annoying is if you put a Time Warp under it, you just get to take all the turns. So, assuming you survive 1 turn cycle, you just get an extra turn. But since it's already banned at lower brackets, it's perfectly fine. Like, if you can only play this in bracket 4 and higher, it's not going to be a problem. If you win with this in a bracket 4 game, you deserve to win. You deserve to win with the Panoptic Mirror. Braids is an interesting one. We got to read the rest of the announcement. I assume it's a game changer, so you won't be able to play at lower brackets. And then Coalition Victory. this is one that people have talked about for a long time. I'm glad they didn't unban Primeval Titan. That's one they use as an example. All right, let's actually read this real quick, and then we'll get into some magic. Hello, it's Gavin, blah, 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 blah. We said we'd do an evaluation of the format's ban list since we had the panel. We've now finished the evaluation, and today we're unbanning 5 cards. For those using brackets to define your decks, you should note that these cards will be unbanned and moved to the Game Changer list. And if you're interested in more talk about brackets, you can check out today's update, including several new game changers. Oh, we got new game changers too in the article. Hopefully they added some green cards to the game changer list. That would be pretty good. Do you have a link to the game changer article? We got to look at that too. Maybe we don't even have to watch the stream actually. Maybe this is all of it. So here's the 5 unbans. These are cards we felt would be safe at power level bracket 3. I don't know if you remember. I'm just saying. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, if any of the mods want to like pin the article, you're definitely welcome to. Can I? Oh wait, here I will pin the article. Okay. Pin for the next 20 minutes the article. It is funny if you remember the original podcast we did, and there was a big argument over are the brackets a power level? Power level. So they're cards that are safe at power level bracket 3 or above. Gives ungiven, sure, whatever. So I don't really care about the justification. So World Fire, yes, makes sense. I think all the unbans are fine. Like I don't have any issues with the unbans. There are cards that I think were like relatively safe. Braids is kind of interesting. The more frustrating Maids games is when it comes out extremely quick and people are locked under it. However, as little as a single removal spell can really send the entire plan back. Its commander decks have become more efficient with more targeted removal, spells, not in the Clash meta, and players have gotten better at identifying commanders they don't want to play against and having pregame conversations. It gives us the confidence to have Braids back. So I will say, if you watch today's podcast, Tomer argued really hard for Braids, and I was initially a no on Braids, and his reasoning was, well, look at Turgid. Turgid is super miserable, but it's mostly not a problem because people play with it once or twice, and then their playgroup, punches them a couple times, and they stop playing it. So it's kind of a self-correcting problem. Braids is probably going to be similar. Coalition Victory. It is annoying that it can win the game out of nowhere, but you got to put a lot of work into it. And then Panoptic Mirror, let's see if it talks about extra turn spell, second imprinting something repetitive, blah, 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 blah. The first one we addressed with bracketed play with the restrictions on combos, and yeah. So I feel like because of the bracket system, that's perfectly fine. What did they say about Dockside You Lotus Mana Crypt? Okay. We would have been plugging your ears if we did not acknowledge the elephants in the room when it comes to the series of unbans. The September bans of Dockside Lotus, Mana Crypt. Notice Nadu. Nadu does not get a shout out. Nadu's not even part of this Nadu's not even part of the conversation. Everyone wants Nadu God. Many players out there probably immediately scroll down the article quickly as they could to discover the fates of these cards. We did talk about these cards, and we're not unbanning them at this time. Opinions from the Commander format panel varied. Some believe Commander is more fun without them. I'm in that camp. Others would like to see how the Commander bracket system is adopted. Before we do anything here, I think that's a very, very good point. The risk of unbanning the super broken cards and then having people not pick up the bracket system, if 2 years from now everyone's playing with brackets, you can unban a lot of cards. Like if that becomes the default way to play, but I don't think we're there yet. And if you unban everything right now, and then the bracket system ends up failing in a year or two where people just don't widely adopt it, then you're gonna have to reban all this stuff, or a bunch of stuff theoretically, because you're gonna have everyone playing with all the super busted cards. And others felt like it was too soon to do anything. There are a few people who are open to doing something with just Jewel Lotus, but that was not the majority opinion. The overwhelming majority of the panel did not want to do anything with these cards at this time. I will be transparent and say that I believe if they ever return, the most likely one is Jewel Lotus, due to its one-shot nature. Is Jewel Lotus iconic feel, an ability to support high mana value commanders. I don't know about Jewel Lotus being more iconic than Mana Crypt. Like, if you're just gonna, how can Jewel Lotus, a card printed like 4 years ago, specifically to be a commander staple, how can that be more iconic than Mana Crypt? But I get the arguments. I don't know if I agree with the arguments, but I get what they're saying. I want to be clear, this is not me saying it'll ever happen, but that was one among the panel. The one on the panel with the most traction. I know many love these cards. Many of you are glad to no longer be playing against these cards. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it sounds like the possibility of unbans in the future is still open. Future bans. Commander has been through a lot since September. It's been time with a change of hands, new panel being formed, a lot of uncertainty around the ban list. After this appraisal of ban cards and changes, we'd like to take some time just to let things sit for everybody to exhale after waiting for this announcement and have a bit more of a relaxed time with Commander News World. Additionally, we love giving more time with the Commander bracket system to develop, which will help inform how much moving cards off the ban list and how the Game Changers list does and how often and where these cards show up. So we're committing to no further changes to the ban list for the rest of the year. Sure, like, it's Commander, I don't really care, but man do I kind of dislike that Wizards sets these hard rules for themselves. I'm curious what you all think. When I read stuff like that, to me, I immediately think it's a negative to, like, put yourself in a box of, we're committing to doing this thing for a very long period of time. I feel like that's unnecessarily restrictive. And Wizards does this they do in other formats all the time too. I feel like in Commander, it matters the least because you can just do what you want in Commander anyway. But I do think that setting these, like, super long intervals between bannings is one of the weirdest things and worst things Wizards does. The only exception is what I'm calling the Nadu contingency, where if there's a new or an unbanned card that generally becomes reviled and people want it gone as soon as possible, and we break the seal and act earlier. Hopefully, we don't need to do this. It would be a fairly extreme circumstances. Where is... Oh, wait, do they go through the whole ban list? Oh my god, they actually go through several cards. I mean, ban lists, there's no way they're unbanning that. I'm surprised Biorhythm didn't get unbanned. We discussed this card a great deal. We ultimately decided not to unban it. It can go on any green deck, requires very little setup to cast. And really, is that true? Does Biorhythm take little setup? I mean, I guess you can cast it at any time, but if you don't actually develop the board state in a way that's going to be beneficial, I don't know if that's good. Compared to Coalition Victory, which only goes in 5 color decks, that's a fair point. There is a natural restriction on Coalition Victory compared to Biorhythm, which you do have to be 5 colors. Could potentially come off someday, but leaving it for now. I'm really glad they didn't unban Emrakul. Emrakul's a powerhouse. Whether caster sheet on the battlefield is a colorless card and go in any deck. De facto top end decks when it was legal, and it saw a lot more play than was fun. Possible that as the bracket system grows and takes off, it may be more tolerable at bracket 3 and above. At the moment, we're going to leave it banned. Flash, I imagine they are never going to unban this just because of CDH, even though it'd be a fun casual card. Is Paradox Engine mentioned? Where's Paradox Engine? An incredibly easy combo and mana generation card. With all the artifact mana in play in Commander, I can imagine if the brackets were strong and widely adapted, us talking about it as a potential game changer, but we're a long way off from that. Primeval Titan. I'm also surprised they didn't bring back Primeval Titan. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? While it is beloved and nostalgic, the amount this card accelerates is massive and can really dominate a game. For those who played when it was legal, know how often the game would revolve around Primeval Titan, whether it died or not, cloning it and otherwise. I do think the card could potentially return and put on the game changer list, but this card can be extremely warping and now is not the time. So actually, as I'm reading this, I mean, Prophet and Crew picks, not necessarily like to be banned forever, but now is not the time to remove it. It's nostalgic, but now's not the time to touch it. Unlikely to return at this time. I say this one is possible, but uphill battle. Very interesting to see that for a lot of these cards, it seems like I think a lot more could come off the ban list in the future just reading this. Like, reading this, I think it is likely that if the bracket system is widely adopted, we will probably see a lot more cards come off the ban list, because a lot of these are not saying we can never put this back in the format. A lot of these are saying, well, now's not the time. We got to see if brackets are actually, like, widely adopted. I would not be surprised to see a lot of these come off. I will say initial impression is this is all actually pretty good. Is there another article? Someone said there was another article. Got Here Late What got unbanned. Gifts Ungiven unbanned. Sway of the Stars unbanned. Braids Cabal Minion unbanned. Coalition Victory unbanned. Panoptic Mirror unbanned. Seems like what do y'all think? We've read over the list. We've read over a lot of the justifications. I'm curious what your take is. What is your take on this? Happy? Happy, sad, somewhere in between, doesn't matter. You're going to play what you want anyway. Oh, here's the bracket article. Thank you. Bracket update. Does any of this matter? So brackets, feedback. I don't think we're going to read literally all this. 87% of people at MagicCon Chicago had tried it. 54% of games on unofficial Discord servers use brackets. Intent is more important, the most important part of the bracket system. Okay, game changers. In evaluating the game changer list and reading your feedback, we not only wanted to add cards, but also ensure the initial list was pulling its weight. After reading community feedback, 2 cards stood out. Is out of place. We're taking them off the list today. Trouble in... Wow! Really? Trouble in Pairs no longer a game changer. Huh. I mean... Trouble in Pairs is, we actually house banded on Commander Clash because I played it in every deck, and Tomer didn't like it, and Tomer does not like it. Actually, it dominates the conversation. That is kind of shocking. Trouble in Pairs, the first card being delisted is Trouble in Pairs. This card has certainly emerged as a standout card since it was released a year ago. While it can draw a ton of cards, it is on par with some cards that are not on the list. The general feeling is it was just slightly under the bar for a Game Changers list, and that we probably jumped the starting line on this one. It's plausible it could be added back in the future as the list evolves and we receive more feedback. That one's actually shocking to me. To me, Trouble in Pairs is about as game changer as a card can be. Trinisphere, I actually kind of agree with because of how they did the list. So the second card being delisted is Trinisphere. This card's not the most fun to play against, no denying that. However, it tends to be strongest at the highest power levels like Optimized Bracket 4, CDH. There are many cards of this level of unfun stacks pieces like Sphere Resistance, Rule Law, Nether Void that aren't game changers. That was going to be my take on it. Like, would it be better if all the stacks pieces were game changers? Maybe, probably, but it's just silly. You're having the same inconsistency that was a big criticism of the Commander ban list for a long time. When you just put Trinisphere on there and leave all these other cards that are equally miserable off of there, Generative deck is trying to lock out players in a stack style. It's a play pattern that doesn't match the intent of bracket 2, and you should bracket up. If you want to play a single Trinisphere, maybe frustrating, ultimately reasonable. Brave is unbanned, Lucid. It happened. Okay, what got added to the game changer? Wow. Okay, 18 cards added to the game changer list. Look at the 18 cards we're adding. Oh, this is actually... Okay. That seems like a good list. T-Pro. Thank goodness. Oh my god. T-Pro is as game changery as a game changer can be. And I am glad that this is actually going to take a game changer slot. I feel like there should be a cost to putting T-Pro into your deck. No. It's not banned. It's just a game changer. It's just a game changer. You want me to pin the... I can pin the Under League. Can I pin multiple links? How many pins can we have? All right, I'll pin that one too. So T-Pro, I think that makes a lot of sense. Humility. Yes, I mean, that card is just absolutely miserable. It is weird that they took Trouble in Pairs off. Nars, oh, poor Crim. Narsep Farter Veils, Orcish Bowmaster, Notion Thief, Praise the Magic Gods. Oh, there's nothing that annoys me more than these cards in Commander. Yeah, these are the Crim specials. Many of these were house banned on Commander Clash. Bowmasters was never house banned, but we did house ban a lot of these because boy did it lead to some brutal games. Intuition. Wait. All right, chat. How often do you see Intuition in your games of Commander? I feel like Intuition's a card I just never see anyone play. Intuition is a strong tutor. It gives you 1 card, dumps 2 in the graveyard. While it's not the exact card that you want, with redundancy, you're usually getting something strong. You stock your graveyard in the process. Combine it with the fact that it can be a 1-card combo in the right deck. And that brings us to game changer status. All right. It's very expensive. That's probably part of why we don't see it, is it's very expensive. I guess it makes sense. This was one of the cards that, when we talked about Gifts Ungiven, it was like, well, if Intuition's legal, why isn't Gifts Ungiven legal? Because they're kind of similar. It's a CDH card, that makes sense. Ooh, Sphinx. What do you think about Consecrated Sphinx? Should that be a game changer? It is a must-kill threat on the Commander tables. Untapping with a Sphinx and 6 or more cards you've drawn by the time it gets back to your turn puts you dramatically ahead. Additionally, the gameplay of other players cloning it, and then allowing each to draw a card. Yeah, that is not the best gameplay. Sphinx is very strong. Sphinx is very strong. Although, didn't they, in the earlier announcement, wasn't there justification for braids like, people got removal now. It's 2025. People know how to use removal. I mean, Sphinx is very strong, but if it does die, it doesn't do anything. Necro should have always been a game changer. Yes, it does cost triple black to cast, which Dark Ritual happens to make, but the ability to turn much of your 40 life into cards is extremely powerful. Yeah, this was one that I was surprised wasn't on the list to begin with. Deflecting SWAT, okay. poor Gamble, poor Red. Poor Red. So, one of my big issues with the first game changer list is green got off too light. I think adding crop rotation Worldly Tutor makes a lot of sense. It also makes sense to add Gamble, but Red just does not need to be punished because Red is so it's just like not a strong color in casual commander. So I feel like the one tutor that Red gets, and it makes you discard the card you want like some percentage of the time. It's kind of a shame to see it on there. Crop rotation. So the problem with cards like crop rotation is it's a way you can get Glacial Chasm at instant speed. It's a way you can get the Phase Out land, Talon Gates of Mirara or whatever. Like you can get that at instant speed. You get your Field of the Dead. Seedborn Muse, this one kind of surprises me. This one actually really surprises me because they also talked about the possibility of unbanning Courser of Crewfix in the future, that it wasn't a hard no to unban Courser. Seedborn Muse is very much Courser of Crewfix, no, Prophet of Crewfix at home. This card causes you to take what is essentially, and when properly built, 3 additional turns worth of effects each turn cycle. That is true. It's not that it's not powerful. Yeah. Natural Order, this was one that I was actually like, okay, this should be a game changer. This was one of the biggest green cards missing. I like that they added a bunch more green cards to the list. I think that was very wise. Aura Shards. Oh, thank goodness. Aura Shards. What do you feel about Aura Shards, chat? What do you feel about Aura Shards? I feel like Aura Shards is sneakily one of the most annoying cards to play against. Like, the fact that it just triggers on every single creature, it does get kind of annoying. It's a very strong card, but yeah, it is. I think that's actually a good addition to the game changer list. Field of the Dead should have been a game changer from the beginning. I don't think there's any argument. Mishra's Workshop also should have been on there. Cards that weren't changed. I want to talk about interesting. I also want to take some time to talk about community feedback of cards that weren't changed. First, I want to tackle categorically legendary creatures. Originally, we had a couple others flagged for inclusion. However, ultimately, there are a lot of powerful commanders out there, and your commander is the one face-up thing everyone knows about. It's an easy road to start adding Korvold, Edgar, Joda, Ur-Dragon, Atrox, and before you know it, a ton of favorite commanders are on the list. I will say that I don't think they need to add those commanders to the list, but I do think they need, and I think they've done better at this the last few years, so I think they know this. I think you just need to not print these cards. I think Edgar is, honestly, in a weird way, is one of the worst commanders they've ever printed. The problem with Edgar is it is the best vampire commander, and it is in all the colors. So no matter what kind of vampire deck you want to build, Edgar is probably going to be the best commander for your deck. I wish that Edgar was like mono black. If Edgar was mono black and had the same exact text, I think it would still be annoying because of Eminence, and that's just kind of a busted mechanic. But I feel like Edgar, if it was mono black, would be a much healthier card, because then you could be like, okay, I got the best mono black vampire commander, but if I want to go Mardu, then I'll play another commander. If I want to go Orzhov, I play another commander. So I think having the best commander for a deck or a theme or a tribe being in all the colors for the tribe is usually a negative. Atraxa is fine. That one I don't think is a mistake. I consider Korvold, Edgar, Ur-Dragon, and probably Joda to kind of be mistakes. Atraxa is fine. Farewell didn't make it. It's incredibly powerful catch-all board wipe. It can be frustrating to have the game reset in this fashion. However, a 6-mana reset button, it does help curb people getting off. Wait. However, as a 6-mana reset button, it does also help curb people getting offhand just the same. Getting offhand? I'm confused by that. Getting out of hand? Maybe they meant out of. Getting of hand. I am assuming they meant out of hand, maybe. It's a card we have in our eyes, but not currently on the game changer list. I would have added that one. Wow, why is Mana Drain not a game changer? A one-time mana surge can be fun. All right, sure. Mystic Remora, Force of Will, Time Twister, Wheel of Fortune. Time Twister, I think there's an argument to banning it just because or not banning it, but game changing because of prices. Alms Collector is like such a weak. I imagine that the reason they mention this is because they added Notion Thief and Narset and Bowmasters to the game changer list, and people are going to be like, well, why not Arms Collector? And the answer is Arms Collector is nowhere near as powerful, right? Like, you still get to draw a card, it just slows it down a little bit. It's way less explosive. So I think that makes sense. I could see the Grave Packs being annoying. Craterhoof. Can't be a game changer because it was just reprinted into standard, of course. It's certainly true this card can end games. However, it's an 8-mana green creature. Is it acceptable to end the game this way? Well, chaining out early with something like Natural Order is a problem. A long game Craterhoof is something we believe is acceptable. The Great Henge. This one had people on both sides. It can absolutely take over a game and let a player snowball card advantage. It can also be interacted with, requiring some setup to be able to cast and use. And it's a card that embodies green in many ways. It's a powerful card on the battlefield. Make no mistake about it. But it is promoting a bunch of things we think are generally fun in Commander. All right. These ones are kind of weird to me. We hit Natural Order because of his ability to tutor anything for 4 mana directly on the battlefield. These tutors do find something, but not nearly as efficiently. Yeah, makes sense. This one is Defense of the Heart a problematic card. I feel like this card people mention a lot. Phil mentions it a lot. Is like, it's the broken card that no one actually plays. Is this actually like a broken card that we just don't play because it's too strong, or is the card actually bad? I thought I didn't play it because it wasn't good enough, but maybe I'm playing it because it's too good. And then of course Soul Rigs. Wow. All right. Well, that's the new game changer list. So what do you think? What do you think, chat? If you just got here, Unbanned Commander, Gifts Ungiven, Sway of the Stars, Braids, Coalition Victory, Panoptic Mirror. I think they handled it very well. I think they handled it very, very well. I think that was about the best that they could do. Ristic Study still game changer. No. So 5 cards, those 5 cards got unbanned. Xeon Boy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jeff, thank you. I would say the weirdest part of all of this is probably them moving Treble and Pairs off the game changer list. That's the only thing that really caught me by surprise. Hey Seth, your Meme Dream deck you did reminded me of the Meme Dream you did with my deck a year ago. It did kind of remind me of that. It reminded me of like an updated version of it. Yeah, they should just let Lutri be banned as companion. I guess it's too confusing. Although I can't believe that anything's actually too confusing after the Spider-Man after the Spider-Man announcement. We gotta play some Magic though. We should actually play. We should actually play some Magic. Well, now, I don't know if we're actually going to watch the stream. McGarry, for the 87th month, was inspired to dust off some smuggler surprised after last week's stream and got a nice 5-0 in his standard event. Congrats, McGarry. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. I'm playing your Infinite Doppelgang deck, and it's the funnest I've played Magic in forever. I love that deck. Doppelgang those decks are the most fun I've had playing Magic in like the last year or so. I just love playing it. Oh my god, okay. I promise we're gonna play Magic. You didn't see the Spider-Man announcement? Oh, this one blows my mind. All right, chat. All right, let's do the reminders. I gotta tell you about the Spider-Man announcement, and then we will start playing Magic. Replay YouTube for all the old streams, normal YouTube, tons of videos coming out. Check them out. A shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some Magic cards, get them over at cardkingdom.com. All right. I tried picking up 10 copies of Gifts Ungiven at the start of the stream, but TCG Player won't let me buy them, keeps removing them from my cart when I try to check out. I wonder if they did announce the Unbans. The Unbans are out. They're out. So Gifts Ungiven, I think it's actually hopefully pinned at the top of the chat. Gifts Ungiven unbanned. Sway of the Stars, Braids, Coalition Victory, Panoptic Mirror. Those are the 5 unbanned today. So here was the Spider-Man news. If you didn't see it, this was actually the big topic before the bannings. Okay, so yesterday, they posted this article. So you probably know, Universes Beyond Spider-Man Universes Beyond Spider-Man coming out this fall. So I said, every time we release Universes Beyond set, we get a similar question. Is it going to be on Magic Arena? Is it going to be on Magic Online? Typically, we handle this on a set-by-set basis, and the answer is either yes or no. We'd love to have the answer always be yes, but sometimes things don't work out that way. But all along, we've wanted a more permanent solution. And with Universes Beyond sets being legal in all formats starting with this year's release, we need a consistent and reliable answer. Enter through the Omen Pass. Through the Omen Pass releases will be a digital set that are universes within versions of Universes Beyond sets that otherwise wouldn't be coming to digital Magic platforms. These are digital cards will be mechanically identical to their Universes Beyond tabletop counterparts, but with creative treatments, different arts, different names. We're not going to do this for every set, but we got to do this for every Marvel set. So essentially, the TLDR of this is they couldn't get the rights. They couldn't get the rights or weren't willing to pay enough to get the rights, I assume. That's my assumption, to actually use Marvel in digital. So now when we get Spider-Man or any future Marvel sets, we're going to get in paper the Marvel version. So we'll get Spider-Man, and then on Magic... In Magic Arena, we will get Arachnid Humanoid, or Kellen in a spider costume, or some universes within version. And this is the part that cracks me up so much. So if you really think about what this means, we went from making Magic sets to making non-Magic sets, Universes Beyond sets, and now we're making Magic sets of non-magic sets, if that makes sense. We went full circle. Now we're making Universes Beyond of Universes Beyond, essentially, which is just the funniest thing. The big issue here is, so why do them? Yeah, that was my take. Like, when it comes down to it, Wizards chooses what sets to make. Apparently, Wizards is betting that they're going to make so much money off of Marvel that it's going to be worth the confusion. I just think it's going to be really confusing. And maybe this is a me thing, but like, what do we do with this, chat? Like, I'm very curious how you think we handle this. Cause like, so Spider-Man drops, all the Commander players and paper players are going to have Spider-Man cards, but anything that we do on Arena or Moto, which is like most of what we do on the YouTube, is going to be non-Spider-Man cards. I don't know how to handle it. Like, do we go with the Spider-Man names? Do we go with the Arena names? Do we try to go back and forth? It seems like that's my concern. And I know we've seen this. We've seen this already with some of the Secret Lair cards, right? Like Rick Steadfast Leader. We got the Rick version, and then we got the Magic version, which Greymon. So they gave us the Magic version, the Universes Within version. So we've seen this on a small scale already, right? Where with some of the Secret Lair cards, but this is full sets. We're talking like 200, 300 cards that are just going to be different between paper and digital. Mother Frogger! Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I'm building Judge's Tower to bring with me to Vegas. So yeah, that was the other big news. No Marvel in digital. And personally, I blame Wizards for it. Like, my take is if you can't get the full rights to the IP, then just make another set. Wizards, I'm sure their math is saying the opposite, that even with the extra cost, because remember, this is going to be way more expensive for them. They have to take in print new art for every card in the set, and it like $2,000 per piece of art or whatever, 300 pieces of art. That's a lot of money. They have to do new flavor text. They have to come up with some sort of world building. I'm very curious to see how they handle this. I am a little worried that the real freak out will be, and they've said they're not going to do the AI thing. So we'll see whether or not. We get mixed messaging about AI from Wizards. We have like Wizards themselves come out and say, no, we're going to do AI stuff. But then if you listen to Hasbro CEO, Chris Cox, that dude is all about AI stuff. Like, he is very publicly all about how AI is going to be like so helpful for their business and all the stuff they can do with it. I think there's some chance, and I hope this doesn't happen. I think there's some chance that there's Spider-Man in paper, and then the Arena set is some like AI slop Spider-Man. run it through the AI. Arachnid humanoid with a few extra fingers. Maybe a chair's missing a leg or something. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out. Is there any in-universe plane that can support a lot of spider people? I mean, we don't really have spider people in Magic. We have I think of Innistrad has spiders, but that's a little different than spider people. The other thing is they got to keep their creature types too, right? So we're gonna have. I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. What is Spider-Man's creature type? Sensational Spider-Man is a spider human hero. So the creature type has to be the same. Or like this part of the card, the creature type, the subtypes, the text box, the power toughness, the mana cost, all that stuff has to stay the same. That's the whole point, right? So not only do they have to have a set where spiders make sense, but they need to build a Magic character that makes sense as a spider human hero. I feel like this is actually, if you don't go the slop route and just pack it in or whatever, we don't care. If you don't go the slop route, it actually seems like it would take some work, right? What is an Azorius spider human hero in Magic? What character would that be? What would the world be around that character? So I'm very, very curious to see if this ends up just being super sloppy digital stuff, or if they actually try to build a Magic version of the set that actually makes sense. Hey, so I've been working a deck for Rainbow Stairway. It's not hard, Seth. I mean, what would you do, Jail? I'm curious. How would you make Magic Spider-Man with the same creature types? What character would you compare it to, or what plane would you put it on? I mean, I guess it's not hard in the sense that they can do whatever they want. so they can do whatever they want, and then they can be, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Been working on this Rainbow Stairway challenge for standard, inspired by the Mathematical Commander deck you made. It works far better than Hessing, right? Too. I'm having a blast with it. Would love to see you take on the deck building challenge for a video or stream. Hey, let me take a look. Yeah, that could be fun. It was fun to do as a Commander deck, but it seems like it could be sweet to do as a standard deck. It actually looks pretty, the mana base is going to be a little rough, but assuming the mana base works out, it actually looks like a pretty functional deck. So they did announce unbanning. So if you're coming in late, Gifts Ungiven unbanned, Sway of the Stars unbanned, Braid's Cabal minion unbanned, Coalition Victory unbanned, Panoptic Mirror unbanned. Those are the unbannings. Yeah, it's gonna be super, super interesting to see how it shakes out. Yeah, let's play some Sultai Dragons. So what is the idea of this deck? Well, I wanted to play Sultai because we haven't played Sultai, and dragons are super cool. So this is Sultai Dragons. So what are we trying to do? Really, we're playing a bunch of dragons. Notice, no Up the Beanstalk in this deck. We are not a Beans deck. We could make it a Beans deck, but I wanted to try a non-Beans version of the deck because I'm kind of sick of Up the Beanstalk. So our Up the Beanstalk is Roiling Dragonstorm. Let's just draw 2, discard a card. When a dragon enters, we can bounce it back to our hand. We also have Corroding Dragonstorm, and then we have a bunch of powerful dragons. We get Disruptive Stormbrood, Removal in a Dragon, Saga Wilding, Fixing in a Dragon, Bloomvine Regent, Ramp and a Dragon, Scavenger Regent, a Wrath that's also a dragon, in Meringue River Regent, Bounce, Card Draw, also a dragon. And remember, since these are all omens, the cool part about this deck is when we use the Omen mode, they go back into our deck. And that's something that when I first read Omens, I didn't really think of it as being that much of an upside, but the more I play with it, the ability to have a Wrath that keeps shuffling into your deck, have a removal spell that keeps shuffling into your deck, it's actually pretty powerful that it keeps coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. Yeah, the Wrath is really, really, really interesting. So that's the plan of the deck. Sideboard, pretty typical stuff. I'm curious about these Spell Pierces. I kind of want to change them to negates. I don't really like Spell Pierce in decks like this. I feel like it's too easy to, the deck's going to go long, and when the game goes long, Spell Pierce loses all of its value, when Negate actually still has a lot of value. I gotta say, I've been kind of a little addicted to drafting. I don't know, how do y'all feel about limited content? I actually think there might be more limited content coming up. Wait, what about Exhale? Oh, we already have 4 exhales in the main. Yeah, I feel like so limited. It's not gonna replace all the constructed stuff, but I think we might see a little more limited slip in, just because I've really been enjoying drafting this format. And what I really want to do, and I don't know if I can make it possible. It might be too hard, but what I really want to crack is like against the odds limited, if that makes sense. Like, just trying to draft the best Mardu deck possible or whatever. That's fine. It's fun. But what I'm really interested in is, like, can we win with Call the Spirit Dragon in limited? Stuff like that. Like, what's the most ridiculous stuff that we can do in the format? So that's what I'm really interested in. Yeah, we already have the Blue Exhale in the main deck. So we already have 4 of those in the main. Yeah, the prices on those Unbanned cards are going to get really expensive really quick. We already have seen them creeping up in price. Wait, what is Backdraft? That video was actually really good, by the way. If you haven't seen it, Tulane Community College, the professor, did a video interviewing Richard Garfield, who created Magic 31 years ago now. But did a video with Richard Garfield. It was really moving. It was really good. If you haven't watched it, it's worth checking out. It was actually pretty moving. Especially, I'm not going to spoil anything, but especially at the end, like, it ended up being a little bit of a tearjerker almost. Well, Cavern on Dragon. Unfortunately, we're not a Simic deck. How do we not die here? Well, I mean, I guess we just Bloomvine. Claim some territory. Unfortunately, Bloomvine only gets Forest, but it still gets us some lands. We need more black manas. Stipulation drafts would be good. Call the Spirit Dragon has the lowest win rate. See, that's what I'm looking for. I wanna win with the cards with the lowest win rate. That's what appeals to me, is can we win with the worst cards in the set? Because I think winning with the best cards in the set, I don't think is actually that difficult. Winning with the worst cards in the set, though, that's another story. Are we just dead here? What do we do here? Oh, chat. These forests are... There is a cause to playing that silly Bloomvine Regent, which is, if we have the Bloomvine Regent, we have to play a bunch of forests, and then we end up with mana like this, where we can't cast the Wrath. We can run out Storm. I guess we could kill this... Wow, we can't even cast the Omen mode on this. So it's we gotta just pass? My goodness, that's... Alright, we will pass. So I guess we gotta pass? There's no way we can cast this next turn, right? Even if we draw it, we're not gonna... Even if we draw a black source, we're not gonna have double black? Does this mean we just... counter? All right, yeah, we're gonna counter it, I guess. Yeah, the problem is we're falling... I think we have to counter it, but that means we don't get to draw cards to find black mana, so we're still just falling further and further behind, but I think we have to counter it. Because we dropped to 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, so I think we're still... Even if... We need to draw an untapped land for Meringue River Regent. Well, okay. Now I think we're really dead. Well, let's draw some cards. The mana to oh no, my. All right. Yeah. Hey Seth, I made a standard zombie deck. You probably can make a better job, but I think it's interesting things going on. Ooh, let me see. I like zombies. Hey Seth, what's your take on the early access meta and the decks you build? My problem is that it's a fake meta, and the decks played don't really matter outside of it. The decks are never meant to be played after those 2 days.
Hold up. Do I not have to quit now, lol? Or is there still going to be Unbans standard on Arena?
We have a new donation. McGarry, $20 donation. Wait, hold up. Do I not have to quit now, lol? Is there still going to be UB in standard on Arena? So McGarry, you don't have to quit as much. So their goal is still to add, thank you so much for the $20 donation, by the way. So their goal is still to have as many Universes Beyond sets as possible on Arena. So that's still the goal. However, Marvel will not give them the rights to, or they don't want to pay for the rights. For some reason, they can't do it with the Marvel sets. So no Marvel sets are coming to Arena. We know that Avatar and Final Fantasy still are, and then future Universes Beyond sets outside of Marvel, unknown at this point. We don't know if they are coming to Arena or not. Do we just, let's just call the exhales or not like that. So yeah, so a little bit less Universes Beyond on Arena, but still not completely. Yeah, I mean, we weren't dead, but we didn't have a way to get back into the game, unfortunately. Yeah, seems better. We have all 3 colors of mana, which is kind of big. But theoretically, there could be a time where it's all in-universe versions. Theoretically, yes. That is theoretically possible. I would say I don't think it's especially likely with 3 years of sets being in standard that there'd be a window where there was never any Universes Beyond in the format. So that, it seems a little unlikely, but also very much not impossible. Let's just Stormbrood. Get rid of this Heartfire hero. Mouse 1 down. So yeah, you could come back at least at times. Biggles? You don't like the Boiler Biggles? I mean, we haven't played a Boiler Biggles deck in a while anyway, so I haven't even had a reason to say it. Yeah, I will say the fact that they have to make a different set for Arena and Moto for the Marvel sets, that is a mark against Universes Beyond. It does in a lot of ways. I will say, I've heard some people say, and I think this is an upside. I don't know if this upside will actually take place in practice, if that makes sense, but there is the theoretical upside that this could make it easier for them to print in-universe versions of these sets in paper. Like, in theory, they're already going to have the art, they're already going to have the new flavor text, they're already going to have the new names, so it would be as simple as them being like, you know what? These people really want an in-universe version of Spider-Man. Let's just send these files off to the printer and we print the in-universe version. Do I think that will happen? I would be surprised because I think Wizards would think that would be cannibalizing their sales. So I think it would be unlikely that they actually did that. But that is an upside, and it is a possibility that we could actually see some of those cards filter into paper eventually, that is a nice bonus. I mean, they're going to have to do something because we already see it with some of the, like, if you look at Warhammer 40K or Fallout, some of those sets, the most expensive cards from those sets, the most popular cards, they're already pretty expensive. Let's behold a dragon and see if we can kill this questing druid. Reveal our Meringue River Regent. Good morning, Seth. I have a recommendation for you. I recently built a Brawl deck that's a bit of a mono blue prison with Venser and Panharmonicon. Ooh, I do love Venser, being able to bounce lands. Ugh, opponent. Raging. Opponent gets in, hits us. I mean, we do get to bounce them with the Meringue River Regent, at least. Opponent. Ooh, Paw Patch with a baby. Does this say spell or ability? Ugh, it does say spell or ability. Well, that's awkward now, isn't it? When this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, when a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control other than that creature. So if we play this, we bounce this and this, and they put counters on those. And then they can use the questing druid still. We could bounce this in this. Let's do that. All right, let's play the Meringue River Regent. It's still a 6/7 flyer. It is big. And it lets us pick up the Roiling Dragonstorm. So we bounce here. Bounce here. Pick up the Roiling Dragonstorm. Opponent, gonna get some counters. I feel like a lot of the dragons in this set are really powerful. I don't know if this deck's actually, we'll see if the deck's actually good, but I feel like this set has some really good dragons. I love this set. This set's so good. This set's so good. Oh, so I had someone message me. I haven't played much Brawl. I don't know if I played any Brawl since Dragonstorm release because I've been playing other formats. Someone messaged me, and I want your opinion on this, Brawl players. So I got a message from a not happy Brawl player that said, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing this, but essentially, CODIS is ruining Brawl. What are the odds that Wizards nerfs this card? What are the odds that they do something about CODIS in Brawl? Are we dying? Oh my god, they had a paw patch formation? What are the odds that Wizards nerfs CODIS? And my take from seeing it in Standard is, I don't know if they actually nerf cards just for Brawl. Like, this is a card that no one plays in Standard or Modern or Pioneer. It's like just not a constructed card. Is CODIS actually, that was my question, like, is CODIS that popular? And what do people do with it? Are they like casting pump spells on it to try to make it like into a villainous wealth? Or do you just play it and chip in for damage? Is it actually annoying? Like, is it annoying to have to play against? I still think it's unlikely they actually. I mean, I feel bad for the person who is not having fun because of it, but it seems so unlikely to me that they would actually rebalance it. I'm just not sure that they care enough about Brawl, if that makes sense. About it. I mean, I think they care about Brawl, but I don't know if they'd change the text on a card just because of Brawl. That's what I mean. Well, okay. Sheoldred's Edict. I think we might still be dead here. Not a great start for the Dragons. What do you think it would take for a 60-card format to be a paper include in people's bags like Commander decks? Wait. What do you think it would take for a 60-card format to be a paper include in people's bags like I think I'm confused, Sultai Smacker, but a paper include in people's bags? I think I'm confused by what you're actually asking. What does it take for a 60-card format to be what? I can see it being annoying to play against. Oh, that's true. They did. Oh, we're just dead anyway. All right, come on, Wrath Dragon. Meringue River Regent. There's a Screaming Nemesis. This game's 3. Yeah, we're wow. Okay, the stream starts now. I think they mean that everyone goes around. Oh. So what would it take for people to be carrying around 60-card format decks in the way that they would be currently carrying around Commander decks? Okay. I see. I have not built around Temur Battlecryer yet. It seems like a neat card, but I haven't really tried to brew around it yet. And I haven't seen it much from opponents yet either. I'm curious what you're doing with it though. So I think to have 60-card formats, get to the point where Commander is, where people are just walking around with their standard deck or modern deck. I honestly don't know that it's possible. I don't know that it's possible. As sad as that makes me as someone who absolutely loves constructed, but I feel like there's always going to be a divide between competitive and casual. Like, it's really easy to walk around with a Commander deck because it's a casual format where there's just a whole bunch of random people playing it. If you're building a standard deck, I don't know. Do you guys play pickup games of like standard or modern? I feel like it's so much rare, and I feel like it was even rare like 10 years ago. Like, most of the time, if I had a modern deck or a standard deck, it was going to go play a tournament more than just like play a pickup game with some people for fun. So I feel like that's going to be the issue. Like, I think more support from Wizards, probably the best outcome for 60-card formats. I don't know if people ever just be carrying them around to like play a casual game, but the best outcome I would say is probably that Wizards takes it seriously and offers more tournament support, more ways to play. And I think that would get more people to have those decks. But I'm still not sure it could ever go to the Commander point. Tier 2 standard would be a blast. I've always said that. I wish there was a way to enforce it somehow, and I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know how do you enforce Tier 2 in a way that people would be happy with? But I do think that would be super fun. I think the other thing that Commander has going for it is just the multiplayer aspect that you don't really have in 1v1 formats. Flood Pit Drowner. Well, I think we need to kill that. Just because of Kaido. So let's be Hold a Dragon. Actually, we don't even need to be Hold a Dragon. Let's just pay the 1. Get rid of the Drowner. We don't want Kaido ninjutsuing in here. Pass turn. Ooh, a bracket system. I wonder, do you think that casual standard play could that ever be a thing? Oh, I should have played Cavern here. Aw. Alright, well, yeah, I should have played the Cavern. You got a counter, you got a counter. Alright, doesn't matter. The problem is arenas condition people only want to play the best, most expensive deck. I think that's kind of true. That, like, the incentives on... Ooh, you're going to discard a card here? You're going to discard a card? Wow, all right. So opponent must have Kaido in hand, and they're going to try to go Black Source Kaido. Otherwise, I don't think discarding... Discarding doesn't make sense if you're not Kaidoing here, right? Do they hit a land? No, nowhere to run. Okay, opponent. I have no empathy for Demir Self-Bounce. So... It's kind of fine to see a little Verge punishment about it. I mean, I guess that's probably the real answer to the question is what would it take for 60 card formats to get to that point? Wow, opponent is discarding their hand. Oh boy, they're going to be in for a bad time here when they realize that was only the first scavenger regent. That was like a 3-for-1. All right, opponent. How about number 2? How many cards would you like to discard this time? Vote it. There's the island. Play that Kaido. Oh! Oh! Oh, it's a mind twist. It's a mind twist. Scavenger Regent, it's a mind twist. It's target player discards their hand. Well, let's draw some cards. We will discard this Wilding. Our opponent discarded their hand to deal with that. Did you see the new alchemy cards? The 2 cards that puts all your creatures onto the battlefield. No, I didn't know there was new alchemy cards. Oh, they also announced. Oh, do we even want to play that? That's only a 3/3. Let's play Bloomvine first. We might want to draw cards with the Meringue River Regent. The Unban, yeah, we actually kind of reacted to it live. Although, if you want to talk about it more, I am down to talk about it because that is the big topic of the day. Sidwayne, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Yeah, so we probably won't watch this stream since we already we spent like a half hour going over the articles. But I like the unbannings. I really like that. Okay. Aggro opponent. Sure. Well, let's, I still want to draw cards with this, but maybe that's silly. Let's play a Disruptive Stormbrood, gain some life. Hit you with the Bloomvine Regent. I mean, this is going super good. This is going way, way better than last game. The Goldfish list, can you send me a link, Venom? Unbans do nothing, right? I mean,
I love a dramatic entrance.
What of the unbanned cards do I think we'll see a lot of? So, Sway of the Stars does nothing.
I thrive in the dark.
Braids I think you'll see on occasion, but I don't think you'll see it that often because people pretty quickly realize that it's miserable. Panoptic Mirror, I don't think you'll really see. Like, it's not a very good card, and the only thing it does well is loop extra turns, which means you got to be playing what, bracket 3 or 4 to even play it. So I think the ones that you'll actually see in practice is probably Gifts Ungiven, I think, in certain decks. And I think people will be interested in trying to win with Coalition Victory. So I think you'll see 5-color decks with Coalition Victory. But I also think that Coalition Victory is still like a... Coalition Victory is actually not that fun of a card. I feel like Coalition Victory will also not have that big of an impact, just because I think what ends up happening is... Yeah, let's just kill this Kaido. I think that what ends up happening is you put Coalition Victory in some of your 5-color decks, and you get people with it a couple of times, and it's kind of cool. And then you're like, this is kind of the same thing every time. I'm probably just going to take it out of my deck. So I imagine that even Coalition Victory is something that we'll see in the short term, but I don't think it's long term that interesting of a way to win a game. It's kind of like Against Odds. Like, there's some really cool Against Odds kills that are really fun to pull off, but then they end up being kind of repetitive, and you don't really want to just do them again and again and again, because you're kind of doing the same thing every time. I think, so the reason I don't think that Braids will actually see that much play is I think it'll just be ruled zeroed out by a lot of play groups. Like, I can't imagine that a lot of people are going to let you play Braids. Like, I think that's kind of the issue, right? You mentioned Pauper Panza. Oh yeah, actually, I actually did a video on it that's going to be coming up this week for Mucha Brew, but I can send you the deck list. It's actually, I was blown away at how fun Pauper is. Pauper is so much fun. Oh, that was another, it came up on the podcast yesterday. What other good Fringe formats are there, chat? By Fringe, I don't mean to be offensive. I mean formats that are not the primary ones that we play and talk about all the time. The Tuxedo Man, I actually really like the Spider-Man change. Don't like Universes Beyond. It's really nice to get at least one set back in digital. I've seen other people say that. I don't really see it though, personally. Like, if they were doing it for all the sets or doing it in paper, I could more see the like, oh, this is like doing something positive. But I feel like doing it just for Marvel sets and just for digital, I feel like it takes away most of the upside. I feel like for me, the confusion of having one set with 2 different versions of each card is more of a downside than the upside of less Universes Beyond on Arena. I have my own Judges Tower. I have a few cards I'd like to suggest. Circle of Protection, Lurking Evil, Niv Mizzet Pyre, and Pontiff of Blight. That's my goal for the next couple months before Vegas, is to build a Judges Tower. Because I'm going to build a Judges Tower, and we are going to jam it in Vegas, and I'm really excited for it. So if you have ideas of cards, let me know. Yeah, Old School is cool if it wasn't so gatekeepy. How is pre-modern? Do we have any pre-modern players here? Rorix Venture for the 57th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. When I asked on my social media about people's favorite Fringe formats, I was shocked. Oh, Dan's super fun too. Dan's a super cool format. I was shocked at how many people named pre-modern is their number one Fringe format. So many people were, that's the one. And I've never played pre-modern. I don't know if it's actually like super fun. Canadian Highlander sounds sweet. That's one that I've never played either, but it sounds like it's something I would enjoy playing. Just like how it's described seems really fun. Oh yeah, that'd be great, Motherfrogger. I'd love to see your list. Yeah, pre-modern's kind of expensive. So we did talk about the Commander Unbans, although it's such a big topic that I am down for talking more about them if anyone wants to, because it is the biggest news of the day. I don't think we're gonna watch the stream though, because it's just gonna go over the same information that we already talked about. So I don't think there's any point in. I mean, I guess it's up to y'all. If y'all really want to watch the stream, I'm down for it. But I kind of feel like it'll probably just be a rehash of the information from the articles. So I don't know if it's really worth it since we already got the articles. I was thinking they're going to do the stream and then release the article, but they released the article first. So now I think it makes watching the stream a little less exciting or necessary. How many are going to build a braids deck? Taking trouble in pairs, it lists smothering tithe and not trouble in pairs. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Let me see. Where's that article? Let's see. Oh, I think can you look at the article again? I feel like maybe it's been corrected. Because I see trouble in pairs on there now. So maybe someone else in the crew already caught it before since you mentioned it the first time. But if you get a chance, just look at the link one more time and make sure that I'm not missing it. But I think it might have been fixed. Tally all for the 51st month. Welcome. Okay, so welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super here for you. My combo version of Reaching Dragonstorm. Ooh. Will your playgroup let you build a braids deck? Do I like the change? So actually, I think it was very well handled. I think they could have unbanned even more things, but I really like the way they handled it. I don't know. We recorded a few days ago, the end of last week, the Commander Clash podcast. Braids is a 2/2, so it does die to basically anything. We recorded Commander Clash podcast the end of last week. Are they salty roping on stream, Taco? There's hundreds of people watching you, Taco. They might just be disconnected. Do you think they'll talk about the bracket system more on the stream? Maybe a little bit. They did post the bracket system update article too. I imagine that they'll go over that information again. There might be a little bit in the Q&A section they usually do at the end. There might be some questions that are different, but... Oh, Nowhere to Run is a staple now. Wow, all right. Well, freebie. It's a freebie for the Dragons. Oh, by the way, chat. Next week... Oh, let me see Halfwing Seed. By the way, chat, next week is Viewer Battle Day. So if you want to viewer battle me, just let me know. And I think we're going to make this even easier. Normally what I tell you is send me an email at saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com with your arena info. You can still do that if you'd like to viewer battle. Send me what format you want to play with your arena info. But let's open it up to just whispers on Twitch as well. So if you want to do viewer battles next week, where you play against me with whatever format on Arena you want to play, you can also just send me a whisper here on Twitch with that same info. Let me know what Arena format you want to play. Let me know your Arena username with the number. Same time as today, but next week. So it will be the 29th. 29th is the same time as today. So 11 to 2-ish. But yeah, you can also send me whispers here. We'll do it that way this time. How do you send a whisper? So, if you're on mobile, I'm not 100% sure. If you're on actual Twitch, I have this whisper thing here where you can search for MTG Goldfish and then send a message. So I'm not sure if it's different on mobile, but on PC it's right up there. And then you can just send a message. Like I said, you can also still just email me if you'd rather, if that's easier. Doesn't make a difference to me. I thought it just might make it easier for people if they could do it right through Twitch without having to write an email, but whatever's easier. But I love to battle ya. Ooh, this hand is not very good. All right, this hand is very similar, but I guess slightly more dragony. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway from the ban list. So someone asked me what I think of the bans. I think this was a very good first step. The only thing, Standard Brawl is if you want to play Standard Brawl, play it with you. Just don't expect some super spicy brew because it's not a format I play. So I'll probably just snag a deck list from somewhere. But if that's your format, I will play it with you. I'm not against playing it. Ooh, Sultai versus Sultai? Well, let's Bloomvine Regent. Get our ramp on. I'll skip this time around. I was on last time. Yeah, I do try to give preference to people who haven't done it before. But if you have done it before, you're still free to sign up if you want to. And I don't know how many people sign up. If there's time, I'll get to you. Can you update that mono white anti-red deck? I was actually thinking about that because I think what we need to add to that deck is... Yeah, let's just leave with the removal spell pass. I think we need to add High Noon. I think High Noon might actually be really good in Standard right now. We need High Noon to shut down the Prowess stacks. I want to build Standard stacks. Will you play Alchemy? So Alchemy, I guess, would kind of be the same. If Alchemy is what you want to play, I'll play it with you. But unless I randomly do some Alchemy brewing in the next week, you might be playing against just some random deck, not some like spicy brew that I made, because I don't know if I'll actually brew for it. Yeah, High Noon is really good against the Prowess Steel Cutter decks. Speaking of your social media, I know when Twitter is what you're used to, however, becomes such a toxic place opponent, Sagu Wilding. All right, we might be playing a pseudo mirror here. Blue Sky to see updates for creators that I like to watch. Would you be able to copy your post to at least one? That way I don't need to go to Twitter to see your posts. Yeah, that's something I've been trying to do, and I've been doing less good with it lately. I was hoping there was a way I could automatically send messages to both, but I haven't figured that out yet. But yes, I will try to make sure that I stay up on Blue Sky as well. But yeah, that's my goal, is to post things in both places, but in the moment, it doesn't always happen, but I will try. I will try to. What are we discarding here? Maybe the Stormbrood? Actually, Caustic Exhale doesn't do anything. Let's discard Caustic Exhale. Let's Corroding Dragonstorm. Do a little Surveilling. These Dragonstorm enchantments actually do not feel bad. They feel pretty reasonable. Roiling Dragonstorm. Draw some cards. Discard some cards. Let's get rid of an island. All right. Well, play the Cavern on Dragon and go. That's I need a fish intern, a social media posting intern. Any thoughts on that version? Oh wait, can you send me? Wait, what was the... Can you send me the deck list again, Tally Hall? I can't seem to see it at the moment. Oh, there's some Meringue River Regents to draw some cards. Can you make someone insta-lose with like a Wall of Blood and Judge Tower, since they have to activate it till they die, holding priority? I don't know that detail of Judge Tower. I don't know. What do you do with an effect like Wall of Blood that theoretically could kill you? Do you even have a life total? I thought the way you died in Judge Tower was by messing up. Can you actually die? Ah, I see. Yeah, I think this is a super cool idea, Talial. The ability to... So one of the issues we ran into with Breaching Dragonstorm is we hit a lot of not bombs. Random armadillos, friggin' armadillos. My God, so many armadillos. This seems to solve that problem where... let me play a card here. This deck seems to mostly solve the problem where if you do the thing... The only whiff, I guess, is Stormscale Scion, and even that's going to add a ton of power to the battlefield. I guess Chimmel's also kind of whiffy, but then you go again on your end step, so it's fine. But I really like the no-whiff idea. I wonder if there's a way to make it win right away. That would be there is a cost to playing 42 lands, so it's a little more zombie honey. I wonder if there's a way we can win right away with it. Like, is there a way to give haste or something? Any chance you'll try Explore All Rhinos deck that I emailed you for the Viewer Battle stream or anywhere else for that matter? Ooh, yeah, there's a possibility for the Viewer Battle stream. Usually for Viewer Battle streams, I play a combination of decks that I've made and decks that people have sent me. So it seems like that could be a good possibility. There are some Pioneer Rhinos coming up. Not that exact same build, but that's another one that I'm working on. Rakshasha's bargain. I tried the Boris enchantment that flickers, but it's still a potential whiff. Speedland gives one creature hits. Oh, I missed the Speedland. Okay, that's actually pretty sweet. Now, it does look super cool. I like it. I also have Dragonstorm combo. Ooh. Quintorius. Yeah, Quintorius Con is a good option. Are we just blocking? Actually, I think we're winning. Let's take the damage. I think we actually just want to try to race here. I think we're likely to win the race. Let's get in with a Scavenger Regent. Hey, yeah. Pound it down to 14. Play another Scavenger Regent. Pick up the Roiling Dragonstorm. Roiling Dragonstorm. We do need to not mill out. That would be awkward. It's so weird. Like, the dragons just give you more dragons. Because of Omen, like, the dragons just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. Oh, there's some removal. Let's get rid of probably the third Roiling Dragonstorm not needed. We're gonna mill ourselves out. Pass the turn. Yeah, Quintorius Con seems like a cool addition to the combo. If you can get that down pre-combo, then you theoretically just win, right? Because of all the triggers from casting stuff from exile. Yeah, we'll take it. I won a game with a 5-color Dragon Con win enchantment. It was against Sparky. It seems so. Oh boy, that's a big one. That is a big one. Okay. Our opponent has a trump card, which is they have Urani, we do not have Urani. Oh, so our opponents. Well, I gotta discard a couple cards. Not that they really care. Yeah, that's a issue. Opponent discards. We also don't have a way to get our dragons back from the graveyard. So once they die, they really do die. Oh, so we need another edict, I guess. 1, 2. Well, I guess we can play the Meringue River Regent, bounce Scavenger Regent, and then Shieldred's Edict. I guess that's what we got to do. So play the Meringue River Regent. Bounce the Scavenger. Discard a Disruptive Stormbrood. Now we can Shieldred's Edict. Get rid of the Urani, thank goodness, because that was going to be an issue. Play the land. Dragonstorm. Yeah. I've been having a lot of fun with your land destruction list in Standard. Yeah, the addition of new dragon is super fun. Actually makes the deck viable. Yeah, that is also Standard land destruction also on my to-do list. Oh, all right. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm feeling less confident. Man, maybe this deck is Feed the Cycle. What? Okay, maybe this deck is just bad. It might be that our deck is just not that good. All right, let's Roiling Dragonstorm. Our opponents get all these cool cards that we don't have, and they're kind of wrecking us. Let's discard the land. Play another Meringue River Regent. Bounce the token. Do we bounce Dragonback Assault? Make him play it again? Yeah, I guess. All right, pick him up. Pass the turn. Have y'all seen any sweet Sultai decks? I really want Sultai to work. Maybe our opponent will get greedy and we can get this Dragonback Assault with the Exhale on the way back down. What's the sweetest Sultai deck that you've seen? Because we played Mardu. We played Abzan. We haven't played Teamer. Teamer's another one that, yeah, see, I really wanted to avoid being a Beans deck. Do we counter this? I guess. Wait, is there a reason I should... Did they... Oh, they have Cavern. Ha ha ha. Yes, okay. We will not counter that. There is a Cavern over there. Pout it. Passes. Well, we drew Go for the Throat, which is good. So let's go for the Throat the Regent. Get in and hit ya. Pout it. What a grind. Down to 11. Play Roiling Dragonstorm. We really want to find more counters, I guess. Well, there's more dragons. Discard the Scavenger Regent. Roiling Dragonstorm. Discard the Scavenger Regent. All right, play the land and pass the turn. Hey, Seth, I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on this deck. I've been playing it a lot, and it fights bounce well, but has a hard time against aggro. The deck also seems fun. Want to see you try it on stream or video. Let me take a look. I actually lost to Ugin yesterday. Yeah, we can't actually... Don't have enough counters to stop it. Sure, Dragonback Assault. Opponent, swap. Makes a dragon. Scavenger Regent. I mean, opponent's down to 2 cards. They only have 2 cards in hand. Opponent passes. So, Meringue River Regent. We need to start using these Maelstroms. Arena really loves leaving Maelstrom up. Let's play Meringue River Regent. Bounce you. Bounce you. Pick them up. I will say the Roiling Dragonstorms have been really good. Those have felt very solid. Now bounce them. Hit you. Down to 6. Come on. Another Dispelling Exhale, please. Okay, there's a Dispelling Exhale. Oh, we don't have the mana, though. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, opponent. Go ahead. I'm trying not... Wait, what did we get punted for? I'm trying not to play up the Beanstalk. It just feels like easy mode, but maybe we just have to. Jeez, another one. Is this going to just become impossible at some point? Dragonback Assault. Sagu Wilding to search for a land. Okay. I mean, can't we just tutor up a... Do we have enough mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, sack. 1, 2. Oh, we're so close. Scavenger Regent. Okay. Can't counter that. Opponent. Pass it. 18 cards left. How can we beat these endless dragons? How many more Meringue River Regents do we have? 1? 1. Do we just go for it? We got to go for it, right? So I guess what we got to do... I don't think we get to leave a counter up. So we sack this. The problem here is if they have a Go for the Throat or something, we get absolutely wrecked. Well, let's sack the Maelstrom. Stormbrood. Oh, to try to blow up the Dragonback Assaults? I think we're gonna go for the win. That is a good idea though. We're gonna try to win here. Whew! No Go for the Throat. Bounce the dragons, win the game. Okay. Whew. We had one more bounce dragon. Opponent's deck looks sweet. Dragonback Assault's a pretty strong card. How are you, Palawi? Excited to play Gifts Ungiven in Commander. I'm not excited. Honestly, what are y'all thinking about the ban list now that it's been out a couple hours? I feel like they went pretty safe. And I feel like it was wise to go safe. I didn't know how they were going to handle this. I wasn't sure if they were going to feel like we need to do everything now. Like, this is our big reevaluation of the ban list. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it now. That's not what they did. They actually, I think, very smartly realized that brackets are still super early. And it's still an open question how widely they'll be adopted. And you can't unban super aggressively, trusting that brackets and game changers are going to control everything if you're not very confident that most people are going to be playing with brackets. So I think that their plan of unban a handful of what I would consider pretty safe cards, and then if you read the full announcement, they talk about a lot of other cards as not coming off now, could potentially come off in the future. See how these changes go. There's a lot more cards that I think could very likely come off the ban list in the future. Not this year, since they're not updating the ban list for the rest of the year, but at some point in the future. So I think that was a smart way to handle it, just because the bracket system is still so new. And I honestly, how widely has it been adopted where you are? Like, if you go to your LGS or some regional event, are most people playing with brackets? I'm actually curious, because I really don't know. That's one of the situations where, since I don't play a lot of like random Paper Commander locally, you probably know better than I do. It sounds like the data that Wizards has gathered says that it's going pretty well, and a lot of people are adopting it, which is, I think, sweet. Yeah, let's take a swamp. Not at all my LGS. But I mean, that's the risk, right? If you unban Fast Bond or something that's too over the top, and then you realize, oh, no one's actually playing with brackets, then you end up in a whole heap of trouble. I kind of do want this Roiling Dragonstorm, but it means we do nothing next turn. I guess we can wait. Let's take the Bloombind. Take the Bloombind to ramp, and then we'll find a Roiling Dragonstorm in the future. Hey, Seth, so stoked to hear that you've been enjoying Pauper lately. It's my favorite way to play Magic by a lot. Looking forward to hopefully seeing some Pauper videos from you soon. Well, I have good news for you, Anklesaur, which is Pauper video coming
after this match.
coming
I have
this
a
week.
40-second video showing 2 decks I think you'll find hilarious. Especially the first one. I'd love for you in chat to see it. The first one in particular is quite evil. It uses all the creatures like it in standard.
Wow. Okay. $35 dono. Christina Lucira. Hey Seth, after this match, I have a 40-second video showing 2 decks I think you'll find hilarious, especially the first one. I'd love for you in chat to see it. The first one in particular is quite evil. It uses all the creatures like in standard. Well, send me... Thank you so much for the huge donation. Send me the link. I will take a peek at it and just make sure that it's okay. And then as long as it's a safe Magic thing and it's 40 seconds, I love evil decks. So send me the link to the video, and thank you so much, Christina, for the donation. We found our Rolling Dragonstorm anyway, which is cute. I'll play the land. Yeah, let's just Rolling Dragonstorm. I feel like Rolling Dragonstorm is our advantage in this match. Just being able to grind out this card advantage. I wonder, is it possible that Roiling Dragonstorm is just better than Up the Beanstalk in this deck? Maybe Roiling Dragonstorm is actually just better. Rakshasha's Bargain. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it seems good. It's drawing us lots of cards. We do have to... I guess the problem is we got to keep spending mana on it. Part of the power of... Actually, no, we'll let that I think we let that go. That's only a 3/3. Part of the power of beans is you only have to spend the mana once, right? And it's done. Oh, thank you. I got your link, Christina. Well, let's play the land. Let's petty revenge the Stormbrood. And let's just run out this Scavenger Regent. Get a body on the battlefield, pick up the Corroding Dragonstorm. But Roiling Dragonstorm draws 2. But no, you are right. That is the biggest difference, right? Oh, I see the video, Christina. I will in between matches, we'll pull it up. It looks fine. I'm excited to see what you're working on. And let's Corroding Dragonstorm. Drain ya. Duress is probably good. Yeah, let's keep the Duress. Actually, let's keep both of them. Play the Maelstrom. It would be nice if we didn't get hit by a Dragonback Assault. Let's catch Coil, draw some cards. Discard the Rush. And do a little Duressing. Feed the Cycle, boy, and some big dragons. All right, take the bargain. Pass the turn. Every single match I've played with the first deck has ended with my opponent quitting. I mean, that's a sign of a good deck. That's a sign when you take away your opponent's will to play Magic, you know you've built a good deck. That's my theory. These Dragon Mirrors. It's kind of a grindy deck. Sagu Wilding, eh? Well, let's play the Maelstrom. So we know we got to deal with this Urani at some point. Yeah, let's just Scavenger Regent. Pick up the Dragonstorm. Replay the Dragonstorm. Well, okay. Those are 2 good ones. Pass turn. The Dragonstorm enchantments actually feel pretty good. Have you seen people calling Corey Steelcutter 2-mana Oko? Been going around in the grinder crowd. Really? Really? Okay. I had not heard that. What is the comparison? Is it just like... Is it just like the power level of the card? I feel like they don't really play similarly. But it is very powerful, and I guess it's the grinder crowd. And I guess it's a card that maybe people slept on, which I could see that comparison. Oko. I don't think everyone thought Oko would be as busted as it was when it was first spoiled. I don't think people thought it was bad, but I don't think it was also, like, supposed to be the best card in the set or anything. It does snowball pretty hard. Well, let's get rid of the Wilding. And, yeah, get in, hit you. Bound it. So we need our opponent to play the Urani so we can Sheoldred's Edict the Urani, and then we can go on to try to win the game. But we got to get rid of this Urani first. Corroding Dragonstorm. I don't have a deck list, but seeing how well the Dragonstorm enchantments are there enough changelings in Standard to make a deck build around them? Ooh, I have to look. I think there's 2. There's 2 or 3 lower rarity changelings. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know if that's enough to actually build a full deck around them, but it's something I can do for against odds at least. There might be enough to, like, sort of do it. Found it. Very good at drawing disruptive... Have we not killed like 1 million disruptive Stormbroods? Where do these keep coming from? I guess our opponent's just really good at drawing them. Well, let's draw some cards. Get rid of the land. Found it. Blows up our Dragonstorm. Picks up their Dragonstorm. Well, let's run it back. Discard a Scavenger Regent. Get in, hit ya. Well, at least we get to get rid of the Dragon Storm. That's nice. Duress away the corroding Dragon Storm. And then I guess we're just gonna Sagu Wild Egg. We need to find some card draw. We need to find it soon. No draft today. Standard and commander discussions today. Although there is gonna be some draft coming up on the YouTube because I've been enjoying draft. Is there anything that you were surprised did not get unbanned today? Was there anything that you were really expecting to get unbanned that didn't get unbanned? I brewed this deck in Ether Drift release, so it doesn't have the Tarkir stuff, but it's Sultai. Hey, let me see, Pyro. Thank you. Hey, Seth, I was wondering if I can get your thoughts on this deck. I've been playing it a lot, and it fights balance well, but has a hard time against aggro. Well, let me see, Badger. Let's see. Sultai. Ooh, Zamon and Dina. That's spicy. Gurmag. I feel like Gurmag Anointer is so close to being a good card. That's a really cool take. Ooh, Homunculus Horde. That's a super spicy Sultai list. I might have to do some updates. Zamon and Dina, I feel like that's a sweet card. Bloomvine Regent. Uncounterable. All right, sure. Well, I mean, we are gonna kill it. Opponent gets to gain some life. Negate. Well, get in, hit ya. Down to 9. All the counters, but they don't stop your ready, unfortunately. I guess, does our opponent not have the mana? Red, green. Oh, they do have the mana. Opponent, combat. Gonna get in. Gonna hit us. And let me see, Badger. Standard, Ugin, and Elspeth. Ooh, some artifact action, eh? I mean, Simulacrum Synthesizer with Elspeth does seem sweet. How has Ether Spark felt to you? Have you had to play with it at all? Ether Spark's a card that, man, I have not had much luck actually getting that card to work. Not in Standard. In Commander, it's busted. That does look sweet, Badger. Do you think so the problem with playing the Dragonstorm enchantments in Blink Bounce, oh, that's awkward, is they're just a little bit expensive. I've seen people try the black one, and I don't think it's bad, but it is, like, slightly more expensive than you really want it to be. I think we just negate this. I think our big advantage here is our opponent does not have many cards in hand. Our Dispelling Exhale is not looking great against this Cavern of Souls. Opponent untaps. They are down to 5, though. At some point, there's going to be a Ureni, and we got to figure out if we can beat the Ureni. And I'm not sure that we can beat the Ureni, but opponent gets in with the Stormbrood, hits us. Down to 13. And there's a Ureni. Well, let's sack this. What can save us? I guess we take the River Regent. Uncounterable Ureni. Yeah, we can crack one of them. Not that any of those actually... The Cavern's the problem. We actually have a million ways to stop this, but... the one Cavern is doing so much work for our opponent. All right, opponent. Oh, another Maelstrom. So we can play this and bounce, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. I guess we need to draw. I mean, this is super risky, right? But is there any... So if we play this and just bounce, then they just replay your any and kill it again. Man, that Cavern is doing so much lifting. I mean, what good is replaying it, though? Isn't this just... So just bounce... You would just play and bounce the Stormbrood? But then aren't we going to have to, like, block the Ureni? Too bad we don't have enough mana to also crack another one of those. That would make it easier. Well, can't they swing, though? Because then they attack with this. Then they replay the Storm Brood as a blocker. And then... All right. No, and they have a removal spell in hand. Okay, yeah, we have to draw. They also have removal in hand, so I think the only option here... I think the only option is to draw. All right, let's catch Coil. I think we have to, because then they can just kill it with this Feed the Cycle anyway. All right, spin it to win it, spin it to win it. Meringue River Regent, find us something not good enough. Man, these counters were so bad. Okay. Yeah. Good enough. Oh, brutal. Ureni is such a mirror breaker. We should probably just be playing Ureni in this deck. I feel like our opponent has like a pretty similar mana base. I don't even see them playing the Maelstroms, and they're just randomly casting Ureni with no red mana. We probably could just jam Ureni. How do we sign up for Viewer Battle Stream? 2 ways to do it. First, you can send me email. Savern@mtgoldfish.com. Let me know what format you want to play your arena info. New way to do it, you can also just message me right here on Twitch with the whisper feature and give me that same info. Either way is gonna work to sign up. All right, before we jump into this last game, let's look at this deck from Christina Lucira, who says that this deck makes all of their opponents quit. Let's see. Hey, here we go. Okay, so we have a Vesuvian Duplimancy, uncounterable land, some unsummons. Oh, are we copying Exclusion Mage? Oh no. I think I see where this is going. Bounce the Fangkeeper Familiar. Counter the spell, pick it up for next time. Oh, that is actually a brutal synergy. Mossborn Hydra, whatever will we do? I could see why this would make people quit. I could see why that would make people quit. That does seem absolutely brutal. Vesuvian Duplimancy can do some stuff, and Fangkeeper's Familiar is like the perfect card to combo with it. That is kind of hilarious. All right, let's see. Leyline Dragons. Oh, we get some nice emote action in here. Leyline to Leyline. Oh no, are we timing out? Okay, what is this deck? Academy Lore Master is a neat card. I've never managed to make it really work. So, oh, I see. So we're turning everything into a dragon with Leyline of Transformation and Leyline of the Guild Pack to turn everything into all colors, and then Call the Spirit Dragon actually wins. Those decks are super sweet. Those decks look super cool. Would you rather have Primetime or Primordial back? Because Commander Mana Crypt and JLO back in Commander. Wait. JLO. What is JLO? Oh, Jewel Lotus. If I had to choose, hey, thank you so much for sending in the decks, Christina. They look super, super sweet. So if I had to choose between and thank you again for the donation. If I had to choose between the two of those, I think that Primetime and Primordial, specifically Primeval Titan, would be more harmful to Commander than Jeweled Lotus and Mana Crypt. And here's the reason why. I think that most people know that Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus are super strong cards that you shouldn't play in your low-powered decks. People know that fast mana, especially those fast mana spells, are considered to be a little bit over the line, right? A little bit too much. I don't think people think about that with Primeval Titan. I think people see Primeval Titan and their Timmy eyes light up and they're like, oh, it's a big 6/6. Oh, it's going to get me lands. I'm going to jam that in my bracket 1 decks, my bracket 2 decks. It's going to be in every deck. I think that Primetime is just a card that a lot more people would put in their decks. So because Commander, for better or worse, runs based on social norms. I feel like Mana Crypt is actually less problematic than Primeval Titan. Haven't been able to find the list of what got unbanned. Ooh, do I have a list of cards for you? So, the list of unbanned cards. We got to claim territory here. Get a little bit ahead on mana. I feel like we might be in better shape. We could always just win before Ureni comes down. That would be kind of sweet. Let's play the land. I think we just wait one more turn. Wait one more turn to draw cards. So the cards that were unbanned in Commander today, if you're joining us late, Gifts Ungiven, unbanned. Iconic Blue Tutor, Sway the Stars, unbanned. Basically Blue Worldfire, Braid's Cabal Minion, Infamous Stacks Commander, unbanned. Coalition Victory, 5-color Wincon, unbanned. Panoptic Mirror, Infinite Turns Looping Artifact. Those are the ones coming off the ban list. The other big piece of news was Trouble in Pairs, no longer a game changer. If you play with game changers. Well, that's Meringue River Regent to draw some cards. An opponent also going to Meringue River Regent. I haven't got to watch Gavin's video yet, although I will. Yeah. I mean, I imagine. Wow, we did not hit a land. Well, that's kind of awkward. Let's discard a Disruptive Stormbrood. Still not a land. Well, okay, so Sagu Wilding. Tutor us up a Schwamp. Play the Schwamp. Play a Corroding Dragonstorm. All right, those are good ones. Pass the turn. Next turn we might play a Dragon. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be such a joy to have Gavin in charge of Commander. I'm seriously telling you, Gavin is the best thing about Wizards. Seriously, Gavin is amazing. And Commander isn't going to be... That's the thing that gave me faith with Wizards taking over the format. Like, I was very skeptical until I heard it was Gavin. Can you post the last video? Oh, the one we just looked at. Can you repost it in the chat if you're still here, Christina? I don't have the link to it anymore, but hopefully someone will put it in the chat. I mean, toxicity is not a Magic problem though. That's a human that's a human problem exacerbated by social media, I would say. So yes, it is true that Gavin can't change people being bad to each other. I don't think that's a Magic thing though, specifically. I think that's a world thing. Gavin is, I'm very confident, and I've heard other people say this, being groomed more or less to take over eventually for Marrow. We're actually going to counter this, especially since we're going to draw cards too. I think it's worth it. So we get down the Scavenger, we pick up both of our enchantments. Our opponent doesn't get to draw cards. Pass the turn. Start the beatdowns. No. So that was Sheldon. So Sheldon Menery created the Commander format with the help of some friends, but I mean, so Sheldon has passed away. So which is super sad. I didn't agree with Sheldon about Elish Norn, but there's no reason to get into that now. But no, they're two different people. So Sheldon was the person who originally created the format. Gavin has been worked at Wizards for a long time, and he's kind of worked himself up to being the heir apparent to Mark Rosewater, is the next face of design at Magic. And he took over the Pauper format, a year or two ago with the help of a community panel, very similar to what we're doing in Commander now. And it's went super well in Pauper. And now we're seeing that same thoughtfulness. There's a lot of things I appreciate about Gavin, but here's the thing I appreciate about Gavin. If you read I mean, I can probably pull this up. After this match, I'm gonna pull this up and show you. I will show you exactly what I'm thinking about. There's such a huge noticeable difference in just the way that he interacts with the community. Like, it's very, very different than what you see from... Oh, was our only blue source? I'm so not smart. Okay. Well, all right. Yeah. Little pinch on blue mana. That's fine. No counters this turn, but we get down to Scavenger Region. We pass the turn. But read the announcements from today. Read the announcements from today from Gavin, and compare them to the last ban and restricted announcement from a couple weeks ago. The one where it's kind of like, hey, standards flourishing, everything's good. What y'all whining about? Like, Gavin just communicates so well. He's thoughtful, he's thorough, he listens, he really listens. Not just like, some people say they're listening, and you know they're not actually, like, they're listening, but what you're saying isn't actually going to have any impact on their behavior, their beliefs, but they're, you know, quote unquote listening. Gavin actually really listens to people. So I know I'm just gushing about Gavin, but Gavin being in charge gives me a lot of faith, and I think the announcements from today back that up even more. Like, I think the announcements from today just back up that Gavin is the right person to be leading this charge. And it's one of the things that makes me most hopeful about Magic long term is that someday Gavin's gonna be the next Mark Rosewater. Like, the future is bright. Yeah, I'm super jealous. As someone who, I've started playing more Pauper recently just because it's in such a sweet spot right now, but who didn't play Pauper for a long time, I was always jealous of that. Disruptive Stormbrew. Do we even care about that? Not really. Sure. You may Stormbrew us. Blow up the Dragon Storm. We got a backup. We really want to tutor up a dragon here, I think, with one of our Maelstroms. Bloomvine region. All right, let's find us a dragon. Let's take a... What do we want here? 5 minutes on the clock. We actually have to win kind of quickly. All right, take the Meringue River Regent. Opponent gets a couple forests. We're going to have to play around a Ureni eventually, I'm sure. I mean, Sheldon... I didn't always agree with Sheldon about stuff, like, philosophically, but I have the utmost respect. Like, it is amazing. Like, to the point where it's almost unbelievably amazing that Sheldon, not part of Wizards, just a member of the community. Yeah, he was a judge, a high-level judge, but, like, a member of the community made the most popular format in Magic. That is kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. It is actually kind of straight up mind-blowing. It blows my mind, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's play Bloomvine Regent. Pick up the Roiling Dragonstorm, gain a little life. Doing some Ureni counting, but unless they have a cavern, we can counter your Ureni. We should even be able to, they shouldn't have enough mana to, like, counter back. And we're getting pretty close to closing out this grinding game. Oh, thank you, Mother Frogger. Thank you. Oh my, I didn't realize you were gonna have to type it all up, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have asked you to do it if I knew you were gonna have to spend an hour typing. My apologies. So I don't think okay, what's your vote, chat, on weekly MTG? Or is it something that you're interested in watching? Is it worth watching even though we've already read the articles? It's really up to all of you. My expectation was they were going to announce it all during the stream, so that's when we were first going to be getting the info. But it turns out we got the announcement ahead of time. I kind of feel like we already got all the information. If we didn't already know, I think I'd be more down for it. Do we negate this? You know, we're going to let it go. All right, yeah, I think So if you would like to go and watch the Watch These stream, obviously go and do it. not gonna hold that against you in the least. But I think we're just gonna keep playing Magic for now, just because we already went over it. Their stream is in about 5 minutes at twitch.tv/magic. Yeah, let's just pass. We also have 3 minutes on the clock, so we have to win. Not only win, but win quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're actually going to counter this one. Hopefully this is correct. Opponent untaps. Opponent's going to duress. All right, I imagine they're trying to resolve Urani. And we can't really stop that through this duress. Do you agree with the game changer changes? In general, Sagu Wilding. Sure. Opponent gains 3. Plays the land. 1 card in hand. Now let's keep on to Maelstrom of the Spear Dragon's been pretty good. It has been pretty good. So we can grab another Meringue River region. Opponent has their own Meringue River region to draw a couple cards. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I wish we had one more mana. I think that the changes to the brackets were generally good. I think removing Trouble in Pairs was a mistake. I don't think they should remove Trouble in Pairs. So I think that was a bit of an oversight on their part. But I think the things that they added to the Game Changer list mostly made sense. And were good additions. And I like that. One of the things I like about this system is, in a weird way, it's going to make it easier to have flexibility. Even though they don't want to ban cards, I feel like moving cards in and off of the Game Changers list should be pretty easy compared to needing to actually ban a card. So I think that maybe in the long run, do we negate this? I think we negate this. We got to try to win this game. Negate it. Can we close it out? Opponent, can you beat our big blue dragon? Can you beat our big blue dragon? They actually, I feel like, and that's one of the things I love about Gavin, I feel like they actually listen to the community's feedback. Like, this list now makes way more sense to me than the initial Game Changer list that they announced. The cards that they added were a lot of cards that a lot of people called out right away. Teferi's Protection, Humility, Necropotence. The card draw in Opponent scoops it up. I can't believe they still only allow 3 game changes for bracket 3 with so many new cards being added. The funny thing is, I feel like I build bracket 3 decks by default almost. Like, what a grindy game, but in the end, we're the better dragon deck, apparently. Yeah, maybe they were finally getting punished for playing the off-color Urani without the Cavern. What do you think the right number for Game Changers would be? Like, if you don't like 3, I found when I build decks, because I got to build a deck every week for Commander Clash, right? So I'm building decks constantly. Most of the time, my decks are, without me trying to think about brackets at all, end up being bracket 3 or below. Like, I typically have 1 or 2 game changers in the decks. We don't have any rules about game changers on Commander Class. We don't really play by brackets. We play whatever we want. But most of my decks end up being 2 to, at the most, 3 game changers just accidentally. So I found, for me, I think 3 actually is, like, oddly a fine number. And I also try, I think the most important thing is to, like, not think about it too much, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like the bracket system with the game changers, if you start trying to build your decks around the game changers, that's where things kind of become an issue. I saw this post on Reddit where someone was talking about how at their LGS, people built really strong decks, and everyone was playing, like, they thought it was CDH, but really it was more like Bracket 4, because they weren't real CDH decks, but really high-powered decks. And then people realized, well, maybe we should try to, like, cut some of these game changers, and we can get them down to Bracket 3 decks, and I think that'll be even better. I think that's the stuff you want to avoid doing. I think you need to just, like, not think of it in that way, because if you do, then it becomes very abusable and breakable. But if you just build your decks and use it as a general guideline, I think it actually works pretty well for that. I mean, what do y'all think about the Game Changer editions? Are there any that you don't? Of the cards I added today, T-Pro Humility, Narset, Intuition, Consecrated Sphinx, Necro, Bowmaster's Notion Thief, Deflecting Spot Gamble, Worldly Tutor, Crop Rotation, Seedborn Muse, Natural Order, Food Chain, Aura Shards, Field of the Dead, Mishra's Workshop. Are there any of those that are like, they shouldn't be on there? Are there any that you're like, no, I really don't want that? The one that is oddest to me is honestly Aura Shards. But I will say, I feel bad about Gamble too. The one that's oddest is Aura Shards, although my experience with Aura Shards has not been positive. It is one of the biggest groan inducers in the Commander games where it shows up. Not that it's like, you shouldn't play it or something. It's not like there's something wrong with it. It's just like, it incidentally wrecks people. Like, you play it to get rid of a problematic artifact or enchantment, but then it ends up just eating all of someone's mana rocks, or someone's trying to play an enchantment or artifact deck, and they're just, like, taken out of the game. So I can see it from that perspective. I kind of wish that Gamble wasn't included, just because there was also a really interesting, I wonder if I can find, did anyone see an article today from the Wizards employee who's like the white dude, like in the Council of Colors? I can't remember. Is it Ari? I can't remember their name. But anyway, there was an article they wrote about fixing white and how they fixed white over the last few years. That was actually very, very, very interesting. Steam Core Scholar, eh? Well, I mean, I guess we'll just keep countering stuff. We're not doing anything else, so we might as well just keep countering. Have you seen the Infinite Combo in Standard with Cameo of False Hope and Ringing Strike Master? Ooh. So no, I haven't actually seen the combo, although that makes perfect sense. Anytime you can repeatedly untap something, there's potential to be able to combo with it. So I can see where it's going. You got to get at least like 6 counters on the Cami. But that could be a good against odds deck, actually. I kind of like that idea as an against odds deck. Well, let's play this Bloomvine region, see what our opponent does. Yeah, this article I thought was actually very interesting. If you want an interesting read about like Wizards design philosophy, Ari Nee? Oh man, I apologize for the name butchering. But it's actually a very interesting look at how Wizards intentionally decided that they needed to fix white, and the steps that they took to fix white, and then some of the end results of them fixing white. So if it's something you care about, I think it's worth reading over. Not a super long read, but actually a very, very interesting article. I thought it was one of the more interesting articles I'd read from WotC in a while. I'm making another batch of rice wine. Only a few days in. It took a small sample and it's good. How long does it take to make rice wine? Like, what's the... Do you have to wait like months? Is it a long process? Oh, do I remember the playlist I used to use for streaming? Oh, I'm gonna have to do some research. I might be able to dig it up. It was on my old computer though, not the one I use currently. All right, I will have to try to dig it up. Well, let's kill this Oculus. Opponent's gonna Spell Pierce. Well, we will pay. Kill the Oculus. Kind of crazy that Oculus is bigger than our dragons. There's something just does not seem right about that. This random eye is stronger than all the dragons in Turkey, but hit you down to 8. Oh, 8 weeks isn't that bad. I was thinking it would be longer than that. I'll have to look when and see if I can dig up the playlist. Oculus is a pretty sweet card. This was, I mean, I think I missed on this one. I was skeptical. I was skeptical of Oculus, and it turns out it's just far enough above the curve that it's worth jumping through some hoops. Ooh, Tursa. Okay. Tursa with extra combat opponents getting in. I mean, our opponent needs something that I don't think exists. Wow, they hit a helping hand? My God. Wait, no, Oculus comes into play tap, though, right? Helping hand. Tapped. That should still be game, right? Opponent, you can get back your Oculus, but unless you can kill one of our dragons. Plus, we could always just draw land in Maram. Is 3-drop Glissa vanilla for Commander? I mean, 3-drop Glissa is actually kind of an absurd card. I don't think it's vanilla. I almost think I should play it more. Because no one's going to block it because of First Strike and Death Touch. Well, I mean, let's see if they have an answer. If they do, we're kind of in trouble because we didn't draw a land. Hopefully our opponent just... Oh, opponent scoops it up. Do you think Oculus would be playable if it was 4 mana? No. No chance. I think the reanimate creature 3 or less thing is super essential for it working. I think if you couldn't reanimate it with Helping Hands and Unearths and so forth, I think it would be... I mean, maybe it could still be playable, but I don't think there would be like a Jeskai Oculus deck that was real in Standard or whatever. I think 1 more mana would pretty much take it from like a very competitive card to more of like a semi-competitive or against odds card. I haven't seen Coco Oculus. I remember right when the set first dropped, I saw some people try stuff like that. The problem is it's tough because the stuff that you normally want with Coco doesn't necessarily synergize with Oculus. So Oculus really good if you hit it with the Coco, but then much less exciting. Do we need Soul Guide Lantern? Is it even worth it? But then it's much less exciting if you have to actually try to cast it. That's where things get a little sketchy. Let's get on the Edicts. Go up the Soul Guide Lanterns. Maybe go up a Caustic Exhale. Even though that doesn't kill Oculus either. Now it's around like that. Neo, yeah, I've seen Neoform Oculus before. How long do we get a Homestar Runner Secret Lair? I wonder if enough people care about Homestar Runner to be a thing. Would they actually do it? It might be possible. Oh, no. Gifts Ungiven. All these cards. So actually, I mentioned this earlier on my social on Twitter. Let's see. And I think this was actually, well, somewhat predictive. So if you go by price movement in the last week, the cards that people were buying the most to make the price go up, Coalition Victory was unbanned. Biorhythm was not unbanned. Dockside Mana Crypt Primeval Titan, not unbanned. But we've already seen the prices of like Coalition Victory. Coalition Victory was, I mean, a bulk card, right? Before all this started. I'm going to have to look it up now. What was the price? Coalition Victory. Before all this started, Coalition Victory was, I mean, free, basically. Coalition Victory, 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents. I guess it went up a little bit to like, not really, to $1. It was $1. Not that long ago. It was $1 this fall before Wizards started talking about unbanning stuff. And we're going to keep this and trust we had our colors and mana. And now it is like $17. I imagine Gifts Ungiven is going to be immediately bought out. But Gifts Ungiven is like honestly a bulk card. Like it used to be expensive forever ago when it saw Modern play, but it's like a 50-cent card. I imagine that this is just, maybe there's enough reprints to keep it in line, but I imagine it's going to do some serious spiking. Yeah, right now it's like even the Modern Mastered one basically been bought out. $30. Look at that price. Look at that price chart. 72 cents to $30 now. Gives Ungiven will probably have some of the biggest impact because a lot of CDH decks will play it. Sway and Eureka is kind of funny. I mean, that's how it works with this stuff. Like, if you can guess correctly on what's going to be unbanned, it can be very profitable, right? Like if you guess right on what's going to be unbanned, it can be very, hey, what's up, Matt? How are you? It can be very profitable. The problem is, if you looked at those cards we saw on Twitter, a lot of people were buying Docksides and Primeval Titans. And if you guessed on those and were wrong, you're going to have a very different experience. We might have needed to cast removal instead of Dragonstorm last turn. Might have been a little greedy. Might have just needed to kill the something. Now this Prophetic Memory stuff's going to start snowballing kind of hard outside of Scavenger. Scavenger Regent has not been impressive. I will say, maybe it's just the matchups. I felt like this would be one of the best dragons in the deck. But the Wrath mode, it's so slow. Like, yes, if we can get to the late game, it's kind of cute, but it is not fast enough to keep up with Makos and such. Braids is an interesting one. We'll see how it works. I think they're betting that. All right, opponent discards a land. Inti, Mako, 7 power. Yeah, we're super dead. Down to 4. 1 black. Yeah, we can't. There's nothing we can draw that saves us here. Do you think Golos could ever get unbanned? I hope it doesn't. I think that Golos is. What do you think? Do you think Golos should be unbanned? My feeling is that Golos is too easy to pick as your 5-color commander. That's my issue with Golos. Is when Golos was legal, I like 5-color decks. I built a lot of 5-color decks. And a lot of those decks, I also don't care that much about my commander. So a lot of the decks I'm building around something in the 99. So the commander isn't really important to the plan of the deck. In those decks, almost every time, if you want to make it as strong as you can, it's right just to play Golos as your commander. So I found that to just be a very easy default. If you want to build this 5-color pile, this whatever 5-color pile, a lot of those paths just lead back to Golos. And I think that's a bit of an issue. I feel like it's just too easy to be the default commander because no matter what you're doing, it's almost never going to be bad. Like, it ramps you, which is great. It essentially draws you cards with the exile through claim for free mode. It does the 2 best things in commander, and it reduces its commander tax by ramping you, which is also kind of overpowered. So yeah, I personally hope that Golos remains on the ban list forever. I really do not want to see that card unbanned. I remember there is infamously a Commander Clash game where we tried to build like bad versions of good commanders, like the worst versions of the best commanders. And this is when Golos was still around, and I tried to build Golos Scout Tribal. Scout Tribal. That's not even a thing. Like, no one builds a scout deck because they're not even supposed to be played together. They're not even supposed to be played together. There's no scout synergy. They're just like random creatures that say scout on them. And it was still busted. Like, it was literally as bad as you can make a Golos deck, and it was still really, really busted. So yes, that's been my experience with Golos, is it's just too good. I like Bandits Commander personally. The argument, and I feel like this, I just can't take the argument seriously anymore with everything that's went on. But the argument against Bandits Commander was always, well, it's too confusing, right? It's too confusing. Can we really have people, you know, keeping track of what's essentially two ban lists, and ban list for the 99 and a ban list for commanders? How will people's brains handle that? But now when we're printing like two versions of entire sets between digital and paper, I'm just like, how can you even like, no, what could be more confusing than that? Like, if that's not too confusing, I think we'll handle having, you know, braids on Bandit's commander list or whatever. I also like Bandit's Commander. Do they still have a band in 1v1 list? So 1v1 is still its own format. So 1v1 Commander, yes, not attached to Wizards at all directly. Wizards doesn't maintain the ban list for it. So that one still does. That one still does exist. Aw, I'll play the land. Well, I feel like I kind of want to play this Soul Guide Lantern this turn. Let's draw. See if we can hit a removal spell. Oh, okay, we can. So let's discard a Bloomvine Regent. Actually, you know what? Let's discard this counter spell. Let's discard the counter. And then we will Stormbrood. Get rid of the fear of missing out. And Soul Guide Lantern. Just to make sure there's no Oculus shenanigans, and go. If you're still looking for a Sultai deck, here's an Insidious Root style deck for Standard. I'm afraid it's somewhat unoptimized since I was trying to save wildcards. Ooh, let me see, Shriek. Insidious Roots is so fun. Such a cool archetype. Well, I do love Fecund Green. Ooh, Kira Goalkeeper. I feel like Goalkeeper has so much potential to be busted. It's one of the cards I haven't really built around heavily yet, but I feel like that card has so much potential. Did you see a new secret lair? Oh, there's a new secret lair. Wait a minute. Is it the commander deck? Wait, when did they announce a new secret lair? Am I missing it? Is it this? Chaos Vault. Hey, Secret Rendezvous. Oh, this is new. Whoa. But wait, why is it? Why is it so expensive? Why is it so expensive? Oh man. That's honestly, I'm very nervous about the price of the brick going up, as they say in The Wire. I am very worried about that. On top of just all the real world stuff of like economics and like people just I don't know, theoretically not having a lot of money. I'm very worried that the price of Magic is going up at the same time when there's just like the price of a lot of stuff's going up, and people, they might have to make decisions, right? Like they might have to make decisions over, you know, do you buy Magic cards or do you buy other stuff? So I'm a little nervous about that. Non-foil's still 30. Oh, that's good at least. So they just jacked up the price of the foils a ton. Why is the foil edition so expensive? So non-foil's still 30. The cards are cool. I bet Richard might have to get one of these. He does love Secret Rendezvous. Is there any value here? Are any of these cards worth anything? I know Rendezvous isn't. Azeka's Chariot. What's Azeka's Chariot? $1. Serenity's $5. Realms Uncharted, that card got so much hype because of... Oh, that's not great. That card got so much hype because of... It looked like a gift I'm given, but that never really took off. Oh, I guess that one's $15 now. When did Realms Uncharted become a $15 card? Everything's going up. Everything's going up. They also announced, I don't know if you saw the Arena Direct, the tournaments where you can win like actual money from, or actual booster packs from Arena. They actually, man, we're just a little bit short. So if we play this, oh man, this seems so bad. I feel like we're kind of locked here. Well, all right, that's all we can do. Bloomvine region, gain some life. Pick up all of our enchantments. We can sack the Soul Guide Lantern at some point. They're one card short of Oculus. I mean, if the Bloomvine sticks and they don't have a Propsydetic Memory, maybe we're okay-ish. Okay. Well, nuke the graveyards. Lose the Bloomvine. Take a huge attack. That is unfortunate. Where are MTG cards printed? That is a good question. A lot of Magic stuff is impacted by tariffs. I don't know how much your cards directly will be impacted by tariffs, because the way that Magic cards are printed, there's three factories that print them. One in the United States, one in Belgium, and one in Japan. So there's 3 printers. So in theory, if you're in Japan, you should get cards from Japan. Really? If you're in Japan, you should get the cards from Japan. If you're in... Man. The man is so brutal here. Alright. Roiling Dragonstorm. Still not exactly what we needed. Yeah, for the want of another black source, I think we're about to die. We will pass the turn. Maybe we can survive. What we need to do is when our opponent attacks, we can go for the Throat the Steam Core Scholar. Get back the Bloomvine Regent. Block the Tursa. That's the hope. Wow, okay. So go for the Throat the Scholar. Pay the ward. Get back the Bloomvine. Pick up our enchantment. Block the FOMO. Oh my, we're still in it. We're still in it. Not dead yet, not dead yet. Phone it. What do you got? Jessica, Narset Jessica Waymaster. Gonna do a little looting. Okay. Discards Oculus. We do not draw Black Source, but we do draw. Well, let's see. Let's play Corrosive Dragonstorm. Do a little draining. Gain a little life. There's a Black Source. Oh, we're gonna get back in this. We're gonna get back in this. Play the land. Meringue River Regent. Pick it up. And I don't think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not gonna bounce the Tursa. Just bounce the Narset. Go to 10. Hit you with the Bloomvine Regent. Swamp on the top for a sweeper that doesn't kill our dragons. Oh, it's finally happening. So Arena Direct, I got lost in my Arena Direct thought. So Arena Direct has all kinds of issues with customer service that they're fixing, but they also announced that the price for Universes Beyond Direct tournaments is going up. They're all going up, actually. So right now it's 5,000 gems to play an Arena Direct tournament. It's going up to 6,000 unless it's Universes Beyond. Then it goes up to 8,000. Well, let's see if our opponent has a counter. If not, this should be pretty good for us. Finally, turn 20. We have found our second Black Source. Exude Toxin. X4? Did you find a negate? Let's see. No. They did not find a negate. Well, we will go to combat. Smack you a little. Opponent down to 5. How the tides have turned. There is a Dragonstorm. It is roiling. Oh, double Scavenger Regent. Double Scavenger Regent. All right, go ahead. Kill us if you can, opponent. Kill us if you can. Can you 10 us this turn? 4 cards in hand. What do you got, Moose Clairvit? Land for our opponent. Dragons. Opponent. I think we got it. Yeah, you won 2 boxes? Hey, congratulations, Tundra Plays. Yeah, Tomer said, Tomer put a message in the Goldfish group chat on Sunday. He was like, I want a booster box, and he had the most obscene. I wonder if I can find the image of this. I feel like Tomer got the most obscene sealed pool that I had ever seen. Like, seriously, his pool, like, the worst card. Like, this sealed pool, I think I found it. Let's see. Look at the sealed pool. Look at the sealed pool. He went 6-0 all the way up. Ugin, Cheskai Revelation, Baitor, Yathan Roadwiner, Azeka Dragonclaw, Neriv. Probably the worst cards in this deck are like the random devotees, but like Skirmish Rhino, bunch of removal, and just like got a Verdant Catacombs, a special guest Verdant Catacombs, and he just cruised. That's a 5/5 now? Well, okay. Thankfully, we have a Scavenger Regent for that. I guess we will exude some toxin. Get rid of that Steam Core Scholar. Hit ya. To 1 point of damage away. Yeah, no, what a ridiculous. He won anyway just from his opens, but then he also went 6-0. What do you think about the chaos drop on the Secret Lair website? We were just looking at it a little bit. Foils seem expensive. That was my first take. Is foils going up to 60 is kind of high. Should I know this artist? I think the artwork looks cool. It seems familiar in a weird way, like I've seen it somewhere, but I can't place it. The artwork looks cool. The value is kind of mid. Opponent Oculus. Well, there's bad news, opponent. You know those Scavenger Regents? They shuffle back in, and we keep drawing them. Once more, Scavenger Regent. Wipe them out. And, okay, I take back every bad thing I said about Scavenger Regent because it was actually just straight up game winning. It was so good. Any chance you can give a little thought on a couple of lists before I leave for a dentist appointment? Ooh, let me see Halfling Steed. Let me see. Teamer Hellkite. Ooh, I do like Territory Forge. I feel like I'm the only person that likes that card, but it makes me want to build more land destruction. So Teamer Hellkite. So Battle Crier wants creatures power 4 or greater. Some nice dragons. I mean, we're playing a lot of these dragons. The dragons have felt solid. Like the dragons themselves feel good. So then I guess are we trying to copy this a bunch of times? 3 Steps Ahead can copy it. Season of Weaving can copy it multiple times. Mirrored Room. I actually love that idea, Halfling Steed. I don't know how competitive it'll be, but I do kind of love the idea of just copying Magmatic Hellkite. I wish it could hit basic lands, non-basic lands, I guess. Because that's the only problem I could see is like sometimes your opponent's just gonna have a bunch of basics and it gets a little less fun. But that's a super cool idea. I like it. And then Sib-Sig combo. There might be some Sib-Sigging coming up for Against the Odds in the near future, like maybe tomorrow perhaps. That is a wild looking Sib-Sig deck, Halfling. I will say I have not built anything even close to this direction of Sib-Sig. What is the combo, though? So you need Thunder of Unity. So the idea is play a bunch of creatures. The zombies get haste from enduring courage. Whenever you gain life, opponent loses life from enduring tenacity. I'm so confused. This one confuses. So I'm guessing the idea is get down Case of Uneaten Feast, Thunder of Unity, alongside Sig Ceremony, and try to play some creatures, and you burn your opponent out with Bloodthirsty Conquer Enduring Tenacity? That's a weird one. That one I'm not sure about. That one kind of confuses me a little bit. Here are my 2 6 old seals. Ooh, let me see. I see. That sounds cool. It need a lot of pieces. A lot of pieces to get set up, but the actual combo seems very sweet. 6-0 sealed again. From Tundra's place. Eshik. This card's kind of ridiculous. Kayak Guardian. For being an uncommon, I feel like I win a lot of games of limited with Kayak Guardian. Warden of the Grove, I feel like, is actually a good card. This is when I opened in one of my draft decks over the weekend, and I was like, man, I feel like this is a constructed card. Like, isn't this good enough? So 3-mana 2/2 gets a counter on your end step, and then any other non-token creature endures X when it enters, that where X is its power. That actually seems kind of good. I'm a big fan of Spider Kellen. Will it be printed in paper? No, apparently not. Spider Kellen only exists in digital form. Oh, do you think they're not gonna do that? Are they? Like, okay. Here's your homework, chat. So Wizards, they need a Magic Spider-Man. What existing Magic character would you make Spider-Man? And why is it loot? You know it's going to be friggin' loot. You know. Loots and armadillos, the story of my life. But Sheoldred? What Magic character? Is there any Magic character that's kind of Spider-Man-like? Hired Claw for our opponent. Let's stay in aggro. Well, let's play the island. Aggro seems like I feel like this deck, my impression so far is the deck is really good against mid-range decks and control decks. Not super confident in its ability to beat the aggro decks, though. Ooh, Sabotavic would be sweet. That would be a good one. Well, that's Wilding. It's just so slow. Wilding. Grab us a Schwamp. Play the Schwamp. Pass the turn. Don't kill us. Oh, Loth would be a good one. Down to 15. Down to 12. And our opponent's playing around our counters by not playing anything. Well, play the land, pass the turn. We've hit... We're just taking this beat down by the mice because we have nothing to do early in the game. Found it. Mice is us. Grows the lizard. Down to 11. Pumps. Well, down to 7. And this is where we see where blocking... Oh my god, so many Dispelling Exhales. Too many Dispelling Exhales for this matchup. If Dispelling Exhales were removal spells, well, okay. And now... Actually, do we just... Okay, we stay on defense. 4, 5, 6. So we go to 1? And then we can Meringue River Regent bounce them? None of these plans are good. The other plan is Bloomvine Regent, gain 3, die to Monstrous Rage. Which they probably got Monstrous Rage. Is there any option that's likely to let us win? I feel like we have two not great options here. It's 5, 6. So we go to 1. We can double counter so we don't have a rage. Yeah, I mean, I guess we pass. Both of these feel not great. Both feel not great. Yeah, Wealth is a good one. I like the Wealth idea. Found it. Oh, Bivouac. Okay, that's also bad. Found it hits us to 6. Pumps. Hits us to 1. I mean, we might just die to like a Burst Lightning or something, but it passes. Well, okay, land. Meringue River Regent. This is what we've been playing towards. Yeah, we just gotta hope that we live. Living on a prayer. And opponent. Shard Mage's Rescue. Ah, mice. Still got a mouse problem. Is Zur's weirding unfun? Do people not like Zur's weirding? I mean, I guess I could see. It is pretty brutal. Zur's weirding, I think, is a very funny card in Constructed. Makes everyone play with their hands revealed, and if you draw a card, you got to reveal it, and anyone pay 2 life to make you not draw it. It is kind of brutal in Commander because it's very because any player can play the life, and you start with 40 life, so it is often just like you can make people not draw cards for a very long time if you want to, or you can gang up on one person and make just them not draw cards, which is super mean. I can see why this would not be enjoyed in Commander, I guess. I do think making people play with their hands revealed is legit, though. What about, like, telepathy? Is there any argument to just running cards like telepathy? Here's the Insidious Roots style deck for Standard. Oh, yeah, yeah, I do like Insidious Roots. It does look super fun. I like the Goldkeeper. The Goldkeeper edition. How's Goldkeeper felt? Telepathy, I feel like, even though you go down a card, right? You're spending a card and it's not really impacting the battlefield. I almost wonder if the information that you gain over the course of the game, if that could be enough to, like, make up for it. Is there any chance, as wild as that seems, that, like, that maybe it's actually worth it? Ooh, Urza's the Richard classic, Urza's glasses. Urza's glasses, you only get to look at one person's hand, though, right? Can you make a control deck that fits the intent of bracket 3? I'm brewing a deck and I can't decide where I should go. I'd love if you could take a look at it and let me know. Let me see, nickel and dime. Found it. Hired Claw. Well, at least we got a removal spell this game. I mean, I think that control itself, you can definitely build in bracket 3. I don't think there's any unwinding clock to untap the glasses. That's so much effort to do so little, but I kind of love it. All right, let's make a couple for us. Can we please draw a dragon? I would even take a friggin' armadillo at this point. Wait, CDH plays Urza's glasses? Oh, look at, opponent's got the combo. And we're looking pretty dead. Definitely my favorite part of Standard. Well, Willow Verge Rush and Death. I mean, actually, do we just... Oh, even if we... Yeah, okay, whatever. Let's draw some cards. We could hit Dragon plus Caustic. All right, Dragon Caustic Exhale. Oh, it's not gonna matter though, is it? Because it's kind of amazing. I feel like adding white mana to mice has somehow managed to make mice even more obnoxious. Because now you got to be worried about Shard Mage's Rescue and actual protection spells. I don't know if it makes mice better, but it definitely makes mice even more annoying to play against. And hello to you, friend. I have an emote for this. Boom. Everybody grab a leg. Mice players always in a hurry. Yeah, I guess we pass. This doesn't... Yeah, sure, fine, yeah. Opponent gets in with both. Ah! It's such a horrible position to be in. We can't take 7, but I know if I Caustic Exhale, we're gonna get... Yeah, I know you can do it all day. Friggin' mice. Oh, it's such a tough spot. Like, if we don't do it, we die. If we do it, I have no faith this is gonna work, but we have to, right? Like, it's not gonna work, but what else can we do? We're dying anyway. Man, Shard Mage's Rescue. Now I kind of want to make a YouTube video that's titled "I Made Mice Even More Annoying." Then actually, the problem is I'd have to play mice for that video, but I made mice even more annoying. And it would just be Boros Mice with Shard Mage's Rescue. It's wild to me that no one's talking about Najila the Blade Blossom, such an incredibly strong 5-color commander. And in a bracket 2 or 3, you could play it with 99 lands and still win. Have you ever used this card? Najila's busted. Najila's definitely very busted. I will say, I think that in general, commanders that just let me pull up the game changer list. My perception is, and I'll have to look at the game changer list to see if this is actually true or if I'm actually just saying this incorrectly. But my thinking is this. My thinking is that if a commander is only adding power to the battlefield, it's pretty much always going to be okay. Where is this game changer list? Because when I think of the stuff that's on the game changer list, it's mostly Staxy commanders, right? So Najila, yes, Najila is very, very strong aggro commander. But if you look at the kind of cards they actually add to the game changer list that are legends, Jin Gitaxias wipes out your hand. Urza, I guess, is kind of a notorious combo / stacks commander. Braids, stacks commander. Turgid, stacks commander. Vorinclex, stacks commander. Grand Arbiter, stacks commander. Kinnan, this one I don't really understand. This is the oddball out to me. I guess these are just like really, really strong. And if there's an argument for Najila, I guess I would go with Kinnan or Eureka and be like, or Winota, I guess, would be the ones where I'd be like, maybe that's the best comparison. They're like CDH level aggro commanders. And I think it's true that Najila is very close to that tier. So maybe it's actually could be considered. But my perception is, in general, Wizards is going to err on the side of it being okay if you're just adding a bunch of power to the battlefield and progressing your game plan. Once your commander starts stopping your opponents from doing things, that's where the bar gets a lot lower. It becomes a lot easier to end up on the game changer list. But I think you got to be super over the top. If you're not disrupting your opponent, you got to be very, very over the top, outlier powerful before Wizards going to do anything about it. So that's kind of what I think's probably happening there. I mean, Kinnan is insane, but it doesn't really fit the stacks commander theme. But I guess Eureka doesn't either. Like, I wasn't trying to say that any of that Kinnan, Eureka, or Winota aren't strong, because they are some of just like the strongest commanders, very like CDHE style commanders, but they're not really stacksy in the same way that Grand Arbiter or Turgid is. I mean, something like Hikori could be on the list, but no one plays Hikori, so I think that's the other thing that I didn't add that I should have. They need to be. I'm still going to stick with mostly Staxy, or I guess we could add a maybe CDH level, which maybe that would be Najila, but I think they need to be that and also relatively popular. Hikori, it fits the criteria of being like annoyingly Staxy, but it's not especially popular. Not that many people actually play it, so I think it gets a pass just because not that many people play it. If you ever became like a top 100 commander, I imagine that you'd see something like Hikori end up as a game changer. Can I propose an idea for a clash where you can run 4 ofs like constructed? Ooh. That actually sounds very cool. I actually like that idea, and we've never done that. I do like that idea. I'm gonna have to pitch that to the rest of the crew, see what they think, because that actually sounds super sweet. What is everyone's overall impression on the Unbans? As a first go of it, I'm pretty happy with. I came away from this. The only thing that I don't really like about all of today's announcements is I think that Trouble in Pairs should still be a game changer. I think taking that off the game changer list was probably a mistake. But I think that the unbannings that they did were very good. And I like that they left the door open, and actually I suggested that we'll see a bunch more unbannings in the future if things go to plan. So I think overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Could they have unbanned more right away? They might have been able to, but I do think there's still just like uncertainty about where Is this control? Uncertainty about the game changer bracket system. Like, they're still not 100% sure that it's going to catch on, and you got to be careful in that scenario. What are your hair care products? I'm not much of a hair care routine. Like, I mean, I don't know. I take a shower, use some shampoo once in a while, conditioner. Like, I actually don't do anything super special to the hair, just normal. I could figure out the shampoo, but I don't buy any special. That's the whatever cheap shampoo there is. Nothing special, really. Wash it once in a while. Comb it once in a while. It is, man, I feel bad when people lose money, but at the same time, if you're just like gambling on magic cards and making cards more expensive for everyone, then it becomes easier for me to laugh a little bit when you buy a bunch of mana crypts and it doesn't get unbanned. Mono White down near Elish Norn. Ooh. That would actually be insane in a 4. I would actually, maybe 4 of Commander's Word's that. Well, let's play this Disruptive Stormbrood. I think we just play this, blow up the temporary lockdown, get back our Roiling Dragon Storm. Uncounterable, thanks to Cavern. So blow that up. Refill our hands with Dragon Storms. Discard a Forest. Big him up. Big him up. And yeah, let's just play the Maelstrom. Pass the turn. I mean, it's kind of working. We're just kind of grinding them out. Oh, yes, for sure. I feel very bad for people who just happen to get wrecked by bannings. That's the worst. But if you're going out and spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on Mana Crypt, in the hopes that you're going to make money because they get unbanned and go up in price, I think that just like any form of gambling or the stock market or anything like that, like in that scenario, I think it is perfectly fair that you could end up coming out ahead or you could end up coming out behind. So yeah, if you're, I mean, I feel anytime just as someone gets wrecked by a banning, it's so bad. That's one of the worst parts of the game, I would say, honestly. Like, when people just get absolutely hammered by a banning for no reason. One of the worst parts of the game. On the other hand, if you're speculating, then you're taking the risk and trying to profit, and if it doesn't work out, that's on you. Oh, I'm Cat Camp fan. Yes, so Vegas, the whole crew's doing Vegas, I believe. Richard will be there. Richard, Krim, Tomer, Phil, me. I believe even Neatuk, our editor Neatuk, helper. I don't even know. We don't have a good title for Neatuk for all the things he does. But Neatuk's gonna be there. So yes, the plan is we're all gonna be there. It should be super fun. I'm not sure what our opponents playing around here. Like, I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused at what our opponent's up to. Well, let's play Corroding. Do they not? Like, there's no Omniscience in the graveyard. I'm not sure if they're like Omniscience that's just running badly, or if they're a control deck. They could be control, right? Like, in theory. In theory, they could just be a control deck, and we're just not really playing anything they can interact with. I could see it going either way. Like, these are all cards Omniscience plays, but it also would all be cards that a Jeskai control deck could play. That's the thing about Neatuk is actually like he kind of blows my mind. Neatuk is like sneakily incredibly good at Magic. Like, I would say that if you go by arena ranking, at least, Neatuk might actually be... I think he's probably the highest ranked player of the Goldfish crew most of the time. Like, I don't know how he does it amidst doing spoilers and all the editing and all the other stuff he does for us. But, like, he rolls in, like, 2 days into the season. Just, like, it's 2 days into the new month and the new season. And I'll be like, oh, I'm number 14 mythic. I'm like, how is that? I'm at bronze. The season just got reset. How in the world are you top 20 mythic after 2? Like, on top of everything else that you do, how did you find the time to end up top 20 mythic? So yeah, I could imagine. Wait, Command Fest Mass? When is Command Fest Mass? I'm gonna have to look that up now. I actually, when, oh. Oh. See, Worcester, maybe. July, actually, no. Wait, July 11th? When is Vegas? MagicCon Vegas. What is the date of Vegas? So Vegas is June? June 22nd, maybe. We'll see. So I have to go, next week I gotta go to Texas for my brother's wedding. Then we have MagicCon Vegas. And then I have my other brother's wedding, like a couple weeks after Vegas, and then a couple weeks after that is gonna be the Command Fest. So maybe, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know how much traveling I want to do within the course of a month this summer. It might just be too much on top of everything else. So possibly, definitely going to be in Vegas because the whole crew is going to be in Vegas. So that one's certain. Command Fest Worcester, not as certain. I've never been to Texas. Apparently the weddings, I guess Austin is the closest. Austin is the closest of the cities. It's kind of between Austin and San Antonio, I guess. But I don't really know all the little town names out there. But somewhere in between Austin and San Antonio. You're going to... I've never... Actually, I went through Texas a long time ago. I went to Mexico through Texas. But this was like, man... So like a long time ago. But Texas is one of the states that I've never really spent much time in Texas. I guess I've also never really been like super interested in spending a ton of time in Texas. But everyone tells me Austin is sweet. Everyone that I ever hear about Austin is awesome. So it'd be kind of cool to see Austin, I guess. I made a... Hey, where's my cowboy hat? Oh, I have a cowboy. Honestly, I hate to admit this, but if you remember, Outlaws of Thunder Junction spoiler season, I got that cowboy hat for a spoiler video. I may have somewhat unironically, actually worn it a couple times in the real world. I may have actually wore that hat in public. It actually, after I got it for the video and wore it, I was like, man, and this hat actually like kind of looks good. I kind of actually like the cowboy hat look. Yeah. Apparently I'm a cowboy hat wearer now, and it keeps the sun off your ears. I had to go to. It was so funny. I went to this. I went to this Trampled by Turtles concert. Trampled by Turtles and Shaky Graves. I wore the cowboy hat, and there was one other dude there with a cowboy hat. I was like, oh, dude, you're the coolest guy here. That's so cool. Like the camaraderie of cowboy hats. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently, if you wear a cowboy hat, it's kind of like Larry David talks about like baldness and how like you see a bald guy and you have a connection. I guess cowboy hats must be like the... I don't know, the hick or country, whatever version of that. I'd be like, wow, cowboy hats. I had never seen Shaky Graves live before, and he kind of blew me away. My brother really, he's been a big Shaky Graves fan for a long time, and said he had to check it out, and I finally saw it, and I was like, wow, okay, this is actually really, like, just the performance was really good. You could tell, and then he was like, oh yeah, he's been like busking. He started off busking on the streets for so long, and that's like kind of where he like learned all this stuff, was busking, and you could tell that he was just like a really good performer. So yeah, he won me over as a fan. Just based on his live performance. That was enough to make me really like him. The Suitcase Trick Drum is really cool. And then Trampled by Turtles is, I like Trampled by Turtles. For bluegrassy kind of band, I like Trampled by Turtles, are fun. Found it. Passing. All right, we need to sack this. I mean, I think we can get them with the Acidic Slime Dragon, right? If we get Disruptive Storm Brood. We can play that, blow up the temporary lockdown, get back all of our enchantments, burn our opponent down to 2. So I think our opponent is just straight up control. Well, let's play an uncounterable Disruptive Storm Brood. Maelstrom of the Spear Dragon actually seems pretty good. That's okay, sure. Decline. We did. Our opponent has a handful of counters, I think. They're gonna show us how many counters they're sitting on. Cap. Sure. Yeah, number 2. Come on, 3. We got number 3. We got Tron. We got Tron. Okay, Lightning Helix of Phase. Okay, sure. I guess that does keep us from winning this exact turn. And Lightning Helix the Phase. All the way down to 34. Well, all right. And opponent scoops it up, and that felt pretty good. Okay, maybe I feel like this deck just doesn't want to play against mice. I feel like if we play against control, the deck's actually very good. Mid-range, the deck's very good. We just gotta dodge the mice. Oh my god. I made this list for a Plygon deck over $1,300, still technically bracket 3. Plygons, yeah. I mean, so this is... I almost wish that, and maybe, I don't know. Do you think there should be more commanders in the brackets? Like, Plygon is, I think, very strong. I wonder if you could differentiate it even more. I almost wonder if we could break it down even more, because I feel like Plygon is a really strong commander. So strong that this deck, you could easily make this bracket 3, bracket 2. Like, it would be pretty easy to make it low on the bracket scale, but it's a very, very strong, and if well built, and it looks pretty well built, hard to interact with deck because of all the blink. But at the same time, I don't really want every new cool commander to just end up on the game changer list. That's also kind of awkward, right? You don't want every cool new thing to be a game changer. 2 sets in, what's the card of the year? So this is card of the year, like, I like this card, or card of the year, like, objectively this card is having the biggest impact on constructed formats. So Ether Drift didn't have much for me, honestly. Ether Drift, what's a standout card from Ether Drift? Like, looking back on Ether Drift, I just feel like there's not a ton there, really. We're going to grab a Swamp here so we can play our Dragon Storms. But, like, I mean, I guess, so, objectively, Ketramos has had a big impact. I guess that would be the biggest card from Ether Drift. Chandra I do see occasionally index. My poor Radiant Lotus hasn't actually taken off the way I wanted to, but it's still a powerful effect. Someday, Radiant Lotus, someday. But there's just not, yeah, I guess Lumbering Worldwagon, Marketback Walker has seen a little bit of play. So I guess those would be the best cards. I feel like we definitely want all these. We'll keep them all. I definitely feel like Tarkir Dragonstorm is the stronger of the 2 sets. Oh, actually, you know what? We're going to shuffle away the other counter. I think we got to claim territory. Getting ahead in mana is pretty good against a control deck. Oh, Stock Up. Stock Up's a good one. Stock Up, I always don't think of Stock Up because it's just uncommon. But you're right. Stock Up is, as far as having a big impact, that would actually be very high in the list too. Now let's play another Dragon Storm. Well, I mean, we will keep both of them. We'll keep both of those. Play the Maelstrom, pass the turn. I feel like Cavern's a big deal in this matchup. Found it. Meringue, River Regent. Sure. Draw your cards. Uncommons keep getting better and better. Did you see... I mentioned this in the finance update this weekend. Did you see... Did you see the new $20 common in Pauper with the high tide unbannings? I thought we were past that. What was that old... What was a black enchantment? Oh, I can't think of it now. But like a long time ago. It's the one that phases Obliette. Obliette was always such a big problem in Pauper because it was like $40. And it was so awkward where like most Pauper decks are like $50. But then if you were going to play mono black, you needed to buy this enchantment that was $40 a copy. But we're kind of getting back to that with High Tide with Merchant Scroll. Merchant Scroll up to $20 a copy. If you got old cards sitting around, I guess stick around for your Merchant Scroll because that's another one that is really shot up in price. Well, let's play Cavern. Actually, no. Do we even Cavern? We got a negate on top. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. We're gonna pass. We're not gonna do anything this turn. Pass the turn. Yeah, if you got old bulk, go looking around. If I claim that the Plagon deck is bad, bracket 3 is a bad acting, or am I just trying to give as much love as I can to my favorite starfish? I think that's perfectly fine. Do we need to counter? How many stock ups do we let them resolve? Yeah, whatever. Sure. Keep stocking up. I think it's all about intent, Joe. I think everything, it's going to come down to intent. If you're going in and you're like, wow, I can go stomp all over these bracket 3 people because I know my Plagon deck is way stronger than their decks and it's going to be hilarious. Yeah, that would be a little scummy or a little like bad manners or whatever. But if you're going into it honestly and you're like, I have this many game changers, but I know Plagon's a really strong deck, like, you know, I just want to give you a heads up or whatever. I think that's perfectly fine. At least that's my take on it. That it's, if you're going into it attempting to like use the system to get more wins or something, that's when you're acting in bad faith. But if you're honest and open about it and you're just like, you know, I built my Plagon deck as strong as I could within being the bracket 3 parameters. So, you know, play a strong bracket 3 deck if you want to play this, or maybe we'll play bracket 4 instead if your bracket 3 deck's not strong enough. I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, how was High Tide felt? So I know everyone in Pauper is freaking out about High Tide. The Pauper League I played a few days ago, I didn't play against it a single time. Yeah, opponent might have got us here. Jace, and then counter back up. Found it. Negates the negate. Yeah, that's not great. That is not great. Well, that's Corroding Dragonstorm. Surveil. And we don't even have black mana. Cavern on Dragon. Oh, the nightmare. I will say, this deck does... The mana is very clunky. Like, in situations like this, where we're trying to leave up multiple counter spells, it's just so clunky. And now we're behind a Jace that we can't get rid of. Oh, just kidding. A Jace that we can perhaps get rid of. Okay, well, I guess we got to try to get rid of the Jace. Let's... Man, we only have one counter, too. All right, let's pass. Stopping our opponent's upkeep. I mean, this is pretty much the game. Pound it. Getting at our Bloomvine Regent. Well, alright. Sheoldred's Edict. Sack of Planeswalker. Three steps ahead. Well, we will negate, but this is our only blue mana. So if they got another one, they win. They win the counter war at least. Ugh. This mana base. Oh, it's the cost. It's the cost of Bloomvine Regent, really. Like, having to play enough Forest to tutor up with Bloomvine Regent on top of wanting Caverns and these Maelstroms. I mean, it's like turn 10 or something, and we still can't cast a double blue spell, which is, boy, that is a problem. That is a problem. That is a pretty big problem. Well, Corroding Dragonstorm. Have you done any adjustments to the Herald of Eternal Dawn deck? I haven't done anything more with it. I haven't done anything more with it, but it does sound... it is a really cool deck. Hey, CGB! Raiding! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Good to see you, Raiders. We're doing some control mirroring here. Hopefully y'all had a good stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, opponent's going to exile the Go for the throat. We are grinding our way against this control player who, sadly, has this Jace that's about to wreck us because our mana's very clunky in this deck. I can say that my Dragonhawk is a bracket 4 for a while. I say high 3, but the way it has been performing to me is proven otherwise. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the challenge of the bracket system, right? You got another Jace. I think man. This is a frustrating loss just because it is literally our deck's fault. It's literally all on our deck. It's because we didn't have enough blue mana. Like, the mana base wouldn't let us leave up enough counters to win the game. Which, we had the cards in hand to win that game had we been able to cast our spells. The good news is control's not like a huge part of the meta, so maybe it's fine. Like, maybe in most matchups, we only need one counter spell a turn, but in that case, if we had access to more counter spells, I think we would have probably won that game and been able to stop the Jaces. Oh, so one more reminder, and welcome again, Raiders. One more reminder that next week is going to be viewer battle. So if you would like, let me see. What are the stats with this deck? I can pull it up. We are... So some of this is... Oh no, I guess I didn't play it before today. So we're 3-2. 3-2 with the deck. Beat Dimir, the red decks. Like, this has actually been our experience. Is like, if we play mono red or a mono red variant, we kind of get stomped. If we play anything else, the deck does really well. That's been our 5 matches essentially. Is please don't be red aggro. Although we're going to game 3 against this control deck, and I don't know how it's gonna work out. I would like to see more Triumph variants. Like, I think there's got to be something between the, like, uncommon tap lands with the ones that we got reprinted in Tarkir Dragonstorm. I don't think we have a name for that cycle, but the uncommon ones in Triumphs, there's got to be some other tricolor lands you can fit in there. I feel like tricolor lands are underexplored in Magic. We're like, what, 30 years plus into Magic, and what has there been 2 cycles of tri-lands? One of them being, am I missing any? Are there other tri-lands I'm not thinking of? I guess the Pain lands are tri-lands for Eldrazi if you need colorless. Yeah, I could imagine there'd be more. There could be some more variants somewhere between the power level of, like, the uncommon ones, which are honestly probably not strong enough, and then the... All right, we got a Cavern. And then the Triomes, which are probably the best version. All right, opponent. Well, let's see. Can we win the control mirror? If the uncommon tri-lands had cycling, would that make them worth playing even without the land types? I mean, I think that even in the current form, if you're desperate enough, the uncommon ones could be worth playing. I think cycling or scry or like some little bit of juice, or maybe there's like, maybe there's an untap mode where like, maybe they're kind of a slow land of some type where in the early game they don't come into play. They come into play tapped in the early game, but in the late game they come into play untapped. I'm sure there's some sort of knob. Ooh, Scryomes. Scryomes has a good ring to it. I'm sure there's some sort of knob that you could twist there. But the current ones, like, there's some control decks that I still play them with. They're not great, but in a slow deck that's like 5 colors, I'll play some number of them. It's awkward. The biggest issue that you run into in Standard is like, it really comes down to the verges. And what are you doing with the verges? If you're going to play verges, you need to play Surveil lands, basic lands, probably Fabled Passage if you're a 3+ color. But if you're verges, you can't really play the tri-lands. You can't really play many pain lands. You can't really play many fast lands. So I think the verges have a huge impact on what is or isn't playable. Like, and I think that hurts the tri-lands because if the verges weren't a consideration, it'd be a lot easier to play them in the deck. But when you add, okay, now my verges don't turn on top of them being tapped, it makes them much harder to play. What about, wow. Okay. Well, honestly, we'll take it. Not the most climatic ending to the match, but boy, that was a grindy control match. Whew. Ooh, stun counters would be really sweet. Stun counters, they should explore more stun counters. I whipped up a Dragon Changeling deck. Ooh. I mean, we're gonna have to do some Call the Spirit Dragoning. We're gonna have to take the challenge. It's coming. It's gonna be coming. That looks super sweet. I took. I mean, I think that's the most realistic way to win with Call the Spirit Dragon in Standard is either Changelings or. I mean, the problem with Call of the Spirit Dragon here is going to be the colors, right? Because this puts it on a dragon of each color. So I think you might need the ley line or some other colors of dragons, but I feel like the colors are actually going to be an issue because you need a dragon of each color. So now we only have red, green, and blue. So you might need to add a little bit more to it, but I think you're on the... oh, okay. If you're playing it just for indestructible and buffing, then it's perfectly fine. If you're not trying to win with it, which that's also very legit. Yeah, that looks super interesting. Cool way to take advantage of the changelings. Anyway, everyone, what did we learn today? We talked about bannings. Crazy ban list update, which I think overall was pretty good. And then Sultai Dragons, we actually ended up going 4-2 with the deck. Although it's really rough against aggro. Really good against everything else. Just dodge the mice. And the Sultai Dragons actually can grind out a lot of value. I missed the Oops All Wrath deck already. One of the funniest videos you ever put out. I was literally crying watching. Do you think we'll see another Standard where it's possible? I mean, I think the good news is, CatCam fan, because of the change to 3-year Standard and because of having 6 sets in Standard each year, I think decks like that are going to be plentiful. I think we could build another All Wrath deck, but I think all that, like that style of deck is much more realistic than it's ever been in the past, just because of the changes, the structural changes to Standard. So I would not be at all surprised if we could build it again next Standard or some variation. Maybe it's not Ras, but it's something else. But I think we'll be able to do more decks like that in the future. I think it's very likely, which is one of the cool parts of the Standard changes. So what are your thoughts? What would your thoughts be on the commander restriction where you could only use cards printed in precons? Dr. White Wolf in chat thinks that Jeskai would be pretty dominant, and I can see it. Ooh. That's the first time I've heard that question. I would actually have to think about what color combination would be best. But that sounds kind of cool. That is kind of a neat idea. You know what someone needs to do? Not me, because I don't think I would I don't think I'd want to play that many pre-con games. But you know, like the card market video where they do they did like the greatest pauper or the greatest pioneer deck of all time, and they played through all these great decks. Someone needs to do a bracket with all the commander precons where you just get all the commander precons from the history of the game, put them all in a bracket and battle it out and find the best precon of all time. I would probably watch that actually. Actually, maybe I should actually just make that. Well, do you want to know what the best precon of all time is, chat? Let me know, because maybe we'll make a video series out of it. Anyway, everyone, that brings us to the end of our stream for today. One more reminder, next stream, not early access, viewer battle stream. So if you want to battle against me, send me your arena info. You can send it to me here on Twitch, or you can send it on email, but definitely let me know if you'd like to viewer battle next stream. Reminders on the way out the door, replay YouTube for all the old streams, normal YouTube, tons of spicy stuff coming up, some really, really cool decks. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Y'all are amazing and awesome, and I appreciate you hanging out, talking Commander Bands, playing some Standard. I'll give CC some scratches for you, Cat Cam fan, and come to Vegas if you want to. It'll be fun. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. I love y'all. Be good, and I will talk to you soon.